I don't even know why we shifted on to fucking Colin Kaepernick. Like,
ML goofy ass want to do that.
Let me be real. That example he brought it up.
Let me tell y'all something that's.
I was making a point. He got hung up on.
So some of the NFL teams, and there's a whole list of these teams, have refused to have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, and ain't shit President Trump can do about it. They've already moved on from it.
They don't have to, and they don't have to. I'm not saying any people should be forced to mourn him. You can say, like, there's a black pastor who went viral. He was giving a sermon, and if I recall correctly, he said it was wrong what was done to him, but he was not a hero or something like that. He was a bad person. He was he just gave his fucking opinion. He didn't condone anything wrong, and so I do not think those kinds of people, should face any kind of backlash. Personally, even though I disagree with them, but as far as the doxing or getting these fucking lefties fired that are celebrating and laughing about the death of Charlie Kirk, who gives a shit? And like I said, if you laughed about the death of a prominent lefty or anybody really, they'd be like, do you really want this person working for you? And the company's going to say, well, holy shit, this looks bad for us. I don't want to be associated with that. Yep, we're cutting them loose. You don't need the drama. And they would just let you fucking go. They don't need to deal with it. And, that's what's happening to these people. And personally, no, I do not feel bad for them. The left, they have been doing this to right-wingers for so fucking long. And they're only getting canceled for like the most egregious shit that they're saying, like, which is celebrating his death and mocking his death, that kind of shit, not for saying mean things about him.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, they've been doxing and counseling people for the longest. So the hypocrisy on the left is funny. And it's ironic that every time we talk about the left, we always fucking highlight the right. No, fuck that. Let's stay on the left. You guys are full of shit. People get fired when they say heinous shit. We fire people for saying things that we say is so-called anti-black, or think we said the N-word or some shit. The lady said Nakers, she got fired. The lady who said something about Kobe Bryant cheating the armor. The list goes on. So get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit from the left.
Yeah, you guys started this whole cancer culture shit. Who started the cancer culture shit?
Don't you guys
that doesn't mean that the right has to behave the same way that they're behaving.
You guys are literally saying
you're no different than them. You just mad.
No, but DJ, but be consistent. If it's wrong for us, it's wrong for y'all. So they should know what's coming with that. They shouldn't be surprised or feel some way.
When you were a child, what did your parents tell you? 2 wrongs don't make a right.
But DJ, I will say that, DJ will say
so therefore they should have no problem with it.
We tried to sit down and talk with them and tried to have an actual discussion. They shot us. So where do you want them to go from?
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Brad, really? They shot us?
This isn't
Brad, come on.
No. This isn't counseling somebody over their words. Like, you know what I mean? This is this is political violence. This is violence. This is like, how else do you, besides us returning the favor, how else do you answer this? This is the way you do it. It's a non-violent way of doing it. That's how you do it.
Don't you think that it's also a big wake-up call, but at a very hefty price, that a man and a father had to die? I remember, you don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk. You don't have to agree. I don't agree with him one bit on a lot of issues. But to advocate for somebody's death and celebrate it, I mean, doesn't that really corrode the very essence of political discourse and what it's about in a democracy?
Yep.
No, it's about freedom. Look, freedom is scary, bro. Y'all just gotta deal with this shit, man.
I'm confused.
You're preaching to the preacher. You're preaching to the preacher here. We know that.
Crazy people who took a
Alpha,
gun
hold on.
at
So
other people for what they say.
But this has been going on for a while. Like this whole silencing. Like some of you may feel a certain type of way about Israel and Gaza, but Jewish Americans weren't able to even go to their classes for the colleges they paid for. We just watched a group of them get firebombed for doing a simple support rally, walking around a mall. Literally old women and men fucking walking in a circle around the mall, and someone decided to take multiple cocktails and go ahead and just drop it on
you. Don't fix the problem by you doing the same thing now that you have the opportunity.
I didn't say we had to do the same thing. I'm just saying, saying every time conservatives, you just had the guy who was saying hey, I believe in free speech. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you. Went across the country and said, prove me wrong. Sat there, offered his opinion, and people come up and you could take as much time as you wanted to have a fucking debate with him. Not only that is he opened up organizations and chapters so that you could format and facilitate these, quote, discussions that the left wanted nothing to do with. And guess what? He was fucking murdered on live TV or was in front of his little girls.
By
in
a
front of his
crazy
wife.
kid.
And you know what? Who believes in the same ideology that a lot of these people on the left believe in? So where do
No, hold on. I got real quick. Hold on, stop. Everybody talking about my speaking. Hold on, listen, DJ, real quick. I want to ask you this real quick. I know you got a question, Brad, but I really listen. I want to ask you something, DJ. I really want to ask this because you seem more logical than the rest of your base. How do we get the left to back off doing this type of shit? Not just celebrating, but even supporting attacks, like calling for violence. How do we get that side to start to dial it back?
Okay, this is what you do, and it's real simple. We already got things in place for this. If they broke a law, you prosecute. That's it. That's it.
So
you don't have to. There's
for
nothing
arena.
magical you have to do. There's nothing. If they broke,
We already got it in place. No.
If they broke a state or federal law, you prosecute.
That
That's
didn't
it.
work for arena.
No, but that's the response. We're talking about preventive. We're talking about talking to your base.
Prosecution. It's a response.
No, preventive. No.
Like
I said to stop them, not how to respond.
Like they be little cupcakes all of a sudden.
DJ, this is the problem. Your base keeps supporting this fuck shit, which only advocates for more of it, and that's what you got in it.
So as more of it get done, we build more jail cells. Yes.
Wow. So you don't want to fix the problem. You just want to respond to it.
Who
Okay.
do you want to put in jail for? What?
That's crazy.
So like I said, if they broke an actual law,
They are breaking a law, but then they're gonna call the right fascist if you put all these motherfuckers in prison for advocating terrorism. This is not freedom of speech. This is advocating and supporting terrorism.
and if
They are putting other people in that list.
and if you could prove that they breaking the law, do terrorism.
If it is,
Listen,
if you
everybody look at
advocate
Matt's.
terrorism, it's breaking of law. I prefer Trump's administration does not put these motherfuckers in prison because then it's kind of like borderline fascism looking. But trust me, this is breaking law. They can't put these people in jail, in prison, because it is the law that we cannot support or advocate or, like call for more terrorism. This is domestic terrorism. Whether you like it or not, whether Otello wants to blame this on Israel or not, this is called domestic terrorism. Somebody was killed because of their political belief. This was a political assassination. It's called
We got you.
domestic terrorism.
And you
So listen, real quickly, look at Matt's PTR and look at all the people who are calling for violence.
what it is.
Those are not
So right now,
Democrats, those
we
are
have
just
the right
people.
What do you do?
Definitely left leaning.
This is what Free's asking. What do you do with people that want the next person to die, DJ?
Say that again.
What do you want to do with the person that is saying, like in my PTR, they want the next person to die? What do you do with these folks? Like, did we live among them? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean,
Go ahead.
bro, people Clubhouse want me to die, but I don't advocate them. I don't advocate them to go get arrested because they want me to die. I just pray for these people. I pray that when they leave, when they get in their car right now, a semi truck runs them over. That's all I do.
DJ, I'm gonna tell you full of shit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you tell you why you're full of shit. If you have people stalking you, sending death threats, or doing things to really your environment, which happened to Charlie Kirk even beforehand, you wouldn't just sit back and like, well, they failed. No, you want precautionary action. You want preventive measures. You want the police, the law enforcement to actually go and engage them. Go ahead.
Guess what, Free? When you're a public figure. When you're in the public eye and you say inflammatory things, that's what comes with the territory. You just have to
DJ, you're too smart for this. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what the fuck we're talking about, DJ. And this is the problem. We always do this bullshit where you don't want to deal with the situation at hand. We know what. No. But that's not what's being disputed, DJ. That's not the fucking argument. We're talking about what to do to fix the fucking problem. And you don't want to address it because you don't want to fix the problem. This is why your base is fucking nuts. There's no problem to be fixed because they like. Your base is left leaning. Your base is left leaning.
Now everybody on this app know I'm way. Everybody on this, maybe you don't know me, but
I know you be
everybody
left leaning.
on this app knows that not to be the truth.
You're not left
The thing
leaning.
is, I'm actually fuck. Pepe, am I left leaning?
No, he's
Okay.
He's not.
You're right.
He's degenerate. He's right leaning.
Yeah, he's
But he
independent on his
hates
thinking.
Charlie Kirk too, though.
free.
So he's.
Well, my apologies then. You're right. I didn't know. My apologies. I'll take it back. Okay, fair enough.
Here's my thing. I'm holding the right accountable because I don't like the way my side is behaving now because you guys are showing yourself to be no different than the left with this Charlie Kirk thing.
But
And yet-
DJ, again, the right has been offering a hand to the table. All the basket of deplorables. They gave a pause. A lot of conservatives actually said, hey, you know what? For the sake of the country, don't go after fucking Hillary Clinton. After his first election. And pushed him to do that. Literally pushed him to do it. A lot of people were upset by this, but it was a large group of his base that said, please, for the sake of the... Don't go after Hillary Clinton. Let's be done with this shit and let's start fixing the problems at hand. We need to fix fucking shit across the board, and we want our energy focused. Again, it got a little fucked up. I'm not going to say it was perfect. There were some great things. There were some bad things, and there were some things that were just left on the table. And then voila, a pandemic. Then we watched the greatest wealth transfer. Then you have this whole Trump was shot at once, and then there was a second attack planned on him. You had an immediate cancel culture that went through removing prominent people and people, quote, associated with January 6th. Because remember, January 6th was the darkest day in the entire country. That apparently surpassing, slavery, Jim Crow, 9/11, Pearl fucking Harbor, all of those other events. Nothing could compare to January 6th per Nancy Pelosi. So no matter what, this was the horrifying day. And people who weren't even in the Capitol, who were just there, had their bank records exposed, given freely by Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They gave it over without even asking for a warrant, without the FBI saying, hey, here you go. They handed that shit right off to the Biden administration. And then they brought in the security net. They expanded the Capitol Police range. They even put a Capitol Police in California next to Nancy Pelosi, which made no fucking sense to me to have a district there. But then they again made all these provisions and then went up there and attacked it. Remember, draped on either side, a Marine on either side, red highlighted backdrop, and Biden going, the most dangerous threat to America is Trump and his supporters. And literally that was called out. Like that speech on primetime TV came off, and Biden said that shit, and guess what? The left ran with that and said it. Remember, they said Catholics were a threat to the country. PTA soccer moms questioning their fucking school boards was fucking accounting to equal to fucking revolution, and we needed to suppress them. This was the left. They did this stuff, and now because of what. I'm not really comfortable with giving the left a pass on it. I'm comfortable letting these people have that again. They're shooting. They're doing these things. They're cheering it on. They're egging it on. They're wanting it on. For fuck's sake, Kathy Gifford started off holding a Trump-severed head. I mean, where do you want to go? I'm still waiting for people to sit there and go, give me the conservative mainframe. I'm saying that the right will do violence. I'm not saying they're completely innocent. But if we're going to weigh these scales are so heavily weighted in the left side that I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to speak. I don't even care if they're at the table anymore. I really don't care. I don't want them in power. I don't want to hear their thoughts. I don't want to hear their ideas, especially after watching how the left in this country has actually carried itself cheering and saying, let's get rid of all conservatives this way. They wanted the fucking war. Let's give it to them. I'm perfectly okay with it. You want to go bullet for bullet, shot for shot, fist for fist, whatever it is, I'm ready for it. I am.
So Brad, I agree with you, bro. And I like the fact that Charlie Kirk was going on these college tours, deprogramming this leftist agenda out of these college kids, and he was really putting in work on that front. But here's where he crosses the line. When he starts trying to tear down MLK's legacy, and this is a man who, yes, of course he was a flawed man. Everybody's flawed. But the fact that you want to hyper-focus on his flaws versus the fact that this black man, MLK, took a bullet for the love of his people. and you want to tear down his legacy for what? For what? Because I could talk about all the evils of most of the founding fathers. They all had slaves. Andrew Jackson was a fucking murderous psychotic. But we don't talk about that shit because there's no reason.
Because the Democrats on the left don't want to talk about their founding father, which was Andrew fucking Jackson. So
I'm just saying, why tear down a person like MLK, a person who took a bullet because he was trying to free his people, by pointing out the fact that maybe he was a womanizer, who most famous people are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're famous, most likely you're going to be a womanizer. That's just the reality.
Hey, but DJ, wasn't Charlie open for any intellectual to challenge him on his position on ML King, whether you felt like he was wrong or right? But now we can't do that, right? Because the response was to kill him, right? That's the point that we need to make. I don't think people believe everything that Charlie Kirk says. I voted for Donald Trump, okay? A black man, even though I look like a white man, right? I don't agree with every fucking thing Donald Trump says. I know for a fact, though, he's better than those other ones on the other side. I'd certainly rather have him running the country than those fucking loons running the damn country into the ground, right? So we don't agree with everything that everybody says, but he was open for debate, and what did the left decide to?
And I would submit he took a bullet for freedom. So why can't we do this, DJ? This comparison that your particular leader that you admire bullet for somebody or for some group of people, I suppose, and then I mean, I don't think it's that far fetched to be able to make those kind of claims.
Yeah, look, because Friday, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you have to. And it's difficult, but I think you have to allow other communities to have their perspective on their icons and who they feel like represents maybe something that other people's community would represent for them. For me, Charlie Kirk was more. For me, Charlie Kirk was a brother in Christ in the sense that we were both evangelicals, or at least we were both raised that way. So I see him in that sense. I don't see him necessarily as a Martin Luther King, but I do understand from the Zoomer perspective, a younger individual, particularly white men, why in a world where they don't see the American dream being obtainable, why someone like Charlie Kirk, who is not only living the American dream, but showing a pathway to them reclaiming that, why they would see him and his assassination as a Martin Luther King type figure for them. Not that he has to be for you, but that for them and their movement, why he would play that role.
You know, guys, I just want to read you guys just one passage that Sam Harris published regarding the Charlie Kirk incident, or should I say the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said something that I found very profound, and there's a lot of truth in it. He says, since deleting my Twitter account nearly 3 years ago, I've generally ignored social media. However, in the last 48 hours, I've spent enough time studying the response to Kirk's death to be further convinced that platforms like X and TikTok are destroying our culture. No metaphor does the problem justice. I've compared social media to a dangerous psychological experiment, a hallucination machine, a funhouse mirror, a digital sewer, but nothing captures the ludicrous insults, moral injuries, and delusions that millions of us avidly produce and consume online. If the medium is the message is mass psychosis, and it will send us careening from one political emergency to the next. The fact that some of the most deranging and divisive content is being created or amplified by foreign adversaries, I agree with that, and that we have literally built and monetized their capacity to do so beggars belief. We are poisoning ourselves and inviting others to poison us. That's a poignant way to put it.
But interesting you say that, because is it a coincidence that the pharmaceutical industry and technology, especially the internet, use the same term when they talk about people? They call them users. When they talk about giving you a drug, a sedative, or anything, they call you a user. Users of our product. You're users. So to not
That's
think
a fact.
that, I mean, obviously there's going to be negative and positive externalities from it. It depends on who's wielding it and what benefits you get out of it. He who masters whatever controls thought and behavior obviously is attempting to get a result out of it. It's just like the story of the Wizard of Oz. Who is the wizard behind the curtain, pulling the strings? Who are the people creating the algorithms? Who are the people wanting to make sure that certain things get put on the internet regardless of whether they cause detriment to society? Because if you think about it, this is where politics and economics intersect.
I actually don't believe, was that Alpha that was speaking in regards to the internet? I actually don't believe people from either in modern day, the left, particularly on the internet, because if you recall, many moons ago, the conservatives were asking for restraints on them. Like Texas just put up a blockage on porn, and that was fought back by people who wanted, quote, free speech and wanted the ability to off to young kids online, which is really fucking disgusting. But they wanted this ability. In fact, sued to actually block these and multiple attempts to go ahead and do this. And so when conservative groups or conservative foundation groups or particularly Christian groups who are saying, hey, I don't want this in my child's life. I don't want the ease of access. I don't want the ability to do it. It gets fought, and sometimes it gets overturned. Sometimes the liberals or the left wins. The right sometimes wins. Like Texas is holding true. Last I knew that their resolve has stood, that they're going to continue to ask for age verification at the very least in order for someone to get online. Now, how much that helps, I don't really know. I don't really care. Don't really watch the shit, so it's not my wheelhouse, and my kids are grown. But when groups do try to say, hey, this is what we want for our children, this is the type of environment we want to raise our children in, they are often forced into, they have to contribute, how do I say this? They have to force to comply with another views, even despite the fact that that view doesn't reside in that area, or even have children to be fucking begin with. It's not like, there's vast communities that are saying, hey, I really don't want books depicting sexual positions and behaviors of LGBTQ members in my third graders' library. I want to remove those books out, which they've had massive protests. They've confirmed, they showed, they visually have told us what books they want to remove because of the very indecent things that are in the books themselves. And they received pushback. They received ridicule. They received cancellation. They received a whole bunch of hate. And so the right has now protested and rebounded back and said, hey, this is where we're going. Guess what? We're your Target shoppers. Guess what? On the weekend, we're your Bud Light drinkers. Nope, we're not going to buy that. So you're going to either have dips in sales or you're going to cater to what we want. Oh, schools, for sure. We're going to win school boards. We're going to win governorships. We're going to win this area. And then we're going to determine our own rooms. And they're doing it. And this is going across communities. It's happening in Black communities. It's happening in Asian and Hispanic communities as well. So it just appears that white liberal snowflakes really can't figure out that the rest of the fucking country doesn't agree with their stance. And no matter how many times you try to force it, the conservatives are now tired. They are now pushing back, and it's not just the conservatives. It's the middle of the road. And it's a whole lot of other people in a lot of other minorities that are fucking sick and tired of the bullshit.
But Brad, see, I understand everything you said. In fact, I'm quite privy to it. However, where does this stop? I mean, will it attenuate to a point where things will be normal enough for people to disagree with each other, people not to push a particular extreme agenda on each other or try to control each other, but to compete more politically than physically, and then fanning the flames of war and violence? I mean, who draws the line exactly?
People have to actually get prosecuted for their crimes. Like, for example, the Trump administration have kind of been hinting that they want to bring George Soros and his kids up on RICO charges for funding all this illegal activity that the left has been doing for the last couple.
Finally.
So things like that have to happen. Look, at the end of the day, if people broke an actual law, they need to be prosecuted on it. But for some reason, the left oligarchs get to walk around this world of, and they've been doing this shit since Kennedy. Like you know, a lot of people talk about Elon Musk being a right-leaning oligarch, but the left has been fucking had oligarchs that's been controlling shit. Like remember during the Black Lives Matter and the Occupy Wall Street protests, these magical bricks getting placed. Like that shit is a crime. How come no one got prosecuted for? You can't just. It was pallets of bricks lined up in front of these banks for people to throw bricks into the window. Who put those bricks there? Because that's clearly a crime. How come no one ever got prosecuted for that stuff? A forklift had to literally lift that shit in them down. That means someone paid a lot of fucking money for that.
And that's the thing, though, Friday.
I agree
That's
with you,
the
Friday.
thing. We, as part of the public, if we fall for it and become puppets, do you know what I mean? I mean,
but Alpha, you're asking for something. You're asking for something that should have been. Like I know Matt can find it. I know Free and a bunch of other people, because you know how I know this. People have sent me this. It's about an hour and a half long, the full video, but there's been clips of it circulating on social media. It's literally that leadership talking political incitement, and they're saying go out and harass, harm. We need to get after him. You have Jasmine Crockett. You know, she's such a wonderful strategist. She's a wonderful political mind. First off, the twat never fucking campaigned, never won an election. She was handed her district. She had what was called a soft election, meaning she didn't have to consent anybody. She just kind of rolled into the position. Hasn't really done my district, didn't even grow up in her district. And if you actually got to meet her before she puts on her performance, she does not talk how she acts on TV. Absolutely 100% does not talk like that at all. Because I know, I've seen her, I've met her. She does not engage that way. She only talks a certain style when she's in front of the cameras or knows there's a big crowd or an event around her. In small private conferences where she's asking for money, she sits there and talks a completely different way. Her articulation switches more than Hillary Clinton's statements on Benghazi, more than Kamala Harris on whether or not she supports Israel or Palestine. I kid you not. But she woke up one day and said, I want to see the end and the downfall and the elimination of Elon Musk. And she got her wish. People were running around carving Nazi signs, swastika signs in people's fucking expensive cars, firebombing fucking Tesla stations, destroying Tesla charging stations, all for the sake of what? Political leaders inciting violence? But we don't hold any of it. And to DJ Friday's point, yeah, but to prevent it, you need a Democrat leader who's going to say, hey, I need to come out there. And right now, there is no one in the DNC that is a leader that could actually lead the left in any particular way.
Featherman,
let alone
look what they
condemn that violence. So, I mean, even Bernie Sanders giving his milquetoast warm apology and saying, hey, we should condemn violence this time around. Where was that kind of statement and feeling when the fucking the crazy fucking nut job shot up the baseball game? Like, you didn't give that kind of rendition. You didn't walk around saying we need to end political violence. We need to stop it now. He didn't say any of that shit. He didn't run around saying all that. No, what they're afraid of is actually the reverse. They're now getting afraid of, well, wait a minute, this may have escalated far, and we may be the people that are next. It may be an Ilhan Omar or an AOC or a Bernie Sanders that gets hit. Like, let's be honest. And is anybody on this side, conservatives, going to go cry? No. Should we post memes about how happy we are? Absolutely. We should post 1,000 memes for that shit, because you guys on the left had no problem doing it. And I'm not like King. I'm not forgiving like a lot of Christians. I'm not a Christian, so I don't turn the other cheek. I believe it. I'm old world. I want eye for an eye.
What? Oh, wait, Brad.
Well, Brad, what you're saying is contradictory,
Brad,
bro.
Brad, don't put that on us, Brad. We can't
turn around and say that Trump wasn't a bad guy when he incited riot and violence.
I know you hear me talking. I know you hear me talking. Brad, we turned one cheek. Outside of that, we have an Old Testament that clearly tells us we are to defend ourselves and that the state is absolutely there to implement justice, right? So
King,
we
you
have
guys got to get Old Testament quick. You need that fire and brimstone and that freaking war.
Oh, you know,
mindset.
look,
you
I'm
need
with you,
crosses
Brad.
painted on shields and swords drawn and start marching into war. Because you guys are under attack.
just so people understand, Brad, because I hear you, because people don't oftentimes understand the balance of the new and the old. For instance, let's say this retard gentleman that is rainbowist, right? This Tyler kid converts to Christianity while he's in jail, waiting to be executed. If he were to do that, we would accept him as a new brother in Christ, and we would wish him farewell on his way to being executed. Meaning, as a Christian, we would welcome him that he is now a new brother in Christ, but still, the state would execute him as justice for Charlie Kirk. And so that's the balance that we get in that as a personal thing, we have a personal way of looking at things, but justice must always be implemented on a societal level. So that's the distinction.
You know, some people on the right, as of yesterday, are starting to question if this guy is even a guy. Breitbart
Even a guy?
That this guy is even a shooter. Breitbart,
Oh yeah. So you want me to speak to that?
Breitbart
He confessed.
No, he didn't. No, so he's not cooperating.
No, that's changed, King. If you look, I can find it for you. He actually just came out, and they have, he admitted to it. Plus, there's a Discord message of him admitting to it.
But
So I'll show you it.
Yeah, show it to me, Matt, because I'm hearing that he's not cooperating.
Yeah, that's changed in the last 15 hours.
Exactly.
Or so.
No.
And they have a Discord message where he said, "Sorry guys,
Have they shown the Discord message? Have they actually shown it?
Yeah, he erased it. Yeah, he erased it, but they retrieved it.
Breitbart just posted. So remember the original old guy that they thought did it, that old white man with the bald head? Remember that guy? He was the first guy that they had in handcuffs. So today, Breitbart just posted that guy, and they about to rearrest this guy because he was clearly he was saying that he was playing a distraction. Because when they originally put handcuffs on him, he was like, "Yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again." And then they found other people who was dressed just like him, had the same shirt on. So now they're saying that this shit is bigger than what we think it is, and there are a lot more other people involved in this.
The conspiracy theorists will always say that, and it doesn't really matter anyway because on the right, we're independent and we should have a diversity of thought. So it's okay that they don't agree or believe.
Always dismiss things to just being conspiracy theory. That's a whole conspiracy in itself, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is that you often don't have any evidence. So we do have evidence on the other side that's pointing the other way. So your conspiracy theory it has zero, and I mean zero evidence. And that's what's wrong with the conspiracy theorists. They're always so smart after the fact. But if they were really smart, then they would be able to predict what's going to happen before it actually happens and prevent it from happening.
But you know how
In what context, Notorious?
Wait. But y'all know how many
In what
times
context?
multiple conspiracy theorists have predicted. I remember Alex Jones predicted 9/11 a week before 9/11 happened.
That is true.
And he said it exactly the way he said it was going to happen.
And several people knew, not only Alex Jones, several people knew something like 9/11 was going to happen. In addition, there have been other conspiracy theorists that have absolutely predicted things that have come to pass. Now, they're not 100%, they don't have 100% accuracy rate, but I think, Notorious, you have to admit that, especially the ones that have been pushed out there as like the symbol of conspiracy theorists, they have spoken on things that have happened. And it's kind of scary because even the frogs are the water's turning the frogs gay. Even that turned out to have some truth to it when they looked into the science behind those things and how it was changing the animals and their their little pee-pees and wee-wees and coochies and stuff. So we have to be honest.
So, King, you know how that works, right? You know how that works, because a long time ago I called into the Alex Jones show and I talked to him about it, right? You know how it works. These guys ain't magical. They're not psychics. they have people on the inside who tell them. Like, because in every organization, you're going to have people who don't agree with what's going on, and they'll tip people off. So you will have people in the government who knows about these things that will tell Alex Jones these things. Now it's up to Alex Jones if he's going to believe it or not, or if he's going to publish it. That's all that happens. People tell on these people. It's like if you work for DARPA, it's all type of shit DARPA is working on. But if I told you the shit it's working on, you'll be like, they're not doing no shit. Like, that is crazy. But then Alex Jones, he just has the guts to actually tell us about it. Like, I remember geoengineering was a conspiracy theory. Now they admit to the shit.
Yeah, yep.
What y'all in here lying about? What's going on?
No, what's up, ladies? What's up, ladies?
Happy Tuesday. Hi. Hello.
Hello, my second wife. How's it going?
Oh, how you feeling, Brad?
Feeling good.
What is there not to lie about?
Right, Alpha.
I do want to say one thing. This is cringe. So Pam Bondi, I don't know. They need to fire this stupid bitch. But she's saying she wants to. Yeah, I'm here.
He's running the show. What's going on, kid?
He's got a new name.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had a new name. I follow me on this account.
I gave you the hearts twice. King Solomon. Hey, Mon. Hey.
King, that's because he keeps getting targeted by a certain individual
I know about it. Okay, cool.
you know, who I mean,
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it here. It's fine.
Okay.
But I haven't been targeted lately, so I'll just drop in it. But I'll say Pam Bondi she's saying she wants to prosecute the Office Max or Depot employees that refused to print the flyers for the vigil for Charlie Kirk. Now, I think that is like absolutely batshit crazy, and that is way over the line. I mean, they got fired. Who gives a fuck? But prosecuting them, I mean, that's just petty and stupid.
It is. Yeah, we got to be careful moving forward.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, well, I can't say it out loud, but it reminds me of Bright Time.
Amazing.
You're about to feel some of that white power, huh?
I did not say that, goddammit. Put words in my mouth.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as this case unfolds, seeing if we can get to the bottom of the truth and who actually gets to the bottom of the truth. I don't actually think it's going to be the FBI. I think it's going to be us, the people. I think we're going to be the ones that uncover a lot of this stuff to the point where it can no longer even be ignored. Because I don't think that this Tyler kid was working alone. So.
I'll just respond to somebody in the chat. Look, China is in no position to talk about democracy and leadership at all. At all. What China needs to do is stop trying to bully Taiwan, okay, and respect people's choices and a sovereign country for what it is, and stop trying to repress everybody and killing dust. That's what they need to do. China is in no way. See, China was a democracy, right, with an opposition. I would have said, you know what? Sure. I mean, they could have a say in the free world, but they don't. They really don't. They were a pariah state until 1998 when Bill Clinton decided to bring them back in because they were so naive thinking that China actually worked with the national conventions and liberalized the economy. They didn't. They did quite the opposite, right? See, China is a very dynamic and diverse way of dictating and, you know, basically one of the, I don't know, it's a strange creature, China. Outside of China, they're all capitalists, they're all accumulating and extractivism and all of that. And inside China, they're all communist and nobody's above anybody else. And long live, Xi Jinping and all that stuff. No, China has no credibility to talk about America. China needs to tell TikTok to stop trying to sow division in America, right? That's what China needs to do. And it's quite eerie when I'm not religious or anything, but TikTok, ever since TikTok has been around, the time has been ticking and talking for just poisoning the minds of the youth, right?
That was
And really, don't you guys see it? It's ticking talking.
Yeah, that's a great point. How China basically is trying to destroy the youth of America and have a totally different practice and standard for their own people. Y'all remember that China was welding people in their homes during COVID, like going and welding their doors shut. So, yeah, China.
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot go outside, bad boy. Sit in there and starve.
They give some nice math.
How wrong? How wrong? No go outside, dog. No.
That's not nice.
Stay inside your house, bad boy.
Oh
Bad boy,
my
you
gosh.
bad boy. Stay in your house,
That
bad
sounds
boy.
ugly. Stop.
That's the type of society.
Yo,
We were doing good. Now you guys are getting a little
Yeah.
racist.
Well, it's
Right.
not racist. That's an
Getting
accent.
a little racist, goddammit.
No, like I hate it when people say it's racist to mimic an accent.
Right, come on,
It's
guys.
like Arnold
It's not
Schwarzenegger
ugly.
Yeah.
has a silly accent. I can't even do it. It's so goofy. But, like
Yeah.
everybody thinks he's cool.
But
you know?
intent,
There,
the
you say
intent,
something about my accent.
it's the intent. Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's last name is racist as fuck. What do you expect?
And you know what I hate when people come up to and you know what I hate when people come up to me. Hopefully you guys can hear me and they say, you don't talk black.
Literally means black nigger.
Wait.
Like,
What is that? Wait, hold on. Speaking. I said I hate when people come up to me and say, you don't talk black. What's that?
Yeah,
that's really
what is
annoying.
that?
I don't talk black.
So who's asking you this? Black people or white people?
Both. Black people,
jive.
but mostly white. Mostly black.
So how do black people don't speak English? What is that supposed to mean?
I know, you tell me.
They want you to talk like your name.
I mean, I don't know why I've never made a comment like that. Like that is just an HR write-up looking to happen. If you say you don't sound black, it's like basically saying, oh wow, you're not one of the dummies.
Well, my mom named me Thalia, and the oldest girl is Ava, and the middle girl is Zelda, and I'm Thalia. She said she wanted us to be able to have good jobs. So I guess in the late 50s and early 60s, she was thinking about something called affirmative action or DEI. Yeah, I mean, so she told. Now I could deal with Delia because I'm a carbon copy of my great grandmother, so I just jumped a few generations, but a doppelganger.
Is it Delia like the
People are really always thinking how they're going to fit in corporate world organizations that they don't own or not on the board.
Well, you have to remember, Ebonics is not just ignorant speak. Ebonics, we had to master that so the white boy couldn't know what we were up to.
You guys
Here
literally
we
learned
go.
I
Ebonics.
felt like we
Here
paid our
we go.
dues. I
This
felt
is
like
stupid.
With that bullshit.
Yeah,
No, but I feel like if you carry the last name Sanders, that should be enough. But she, my hair's always been curly and straight at the roots, and she wanted to fit in so bad she would use Vigoro or a pressing comb to just make it like bone straight and no frizz. So some people they go through that to fit in where they can get in more so. But she was more targeted at being jazzy for the corporate workforce than anything.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to stay on Ebonics, and Othello, you're fucking. Do you even know where X? People criticize black people for pronouncing ask as X. That actually came. There's a dialect that was spoken by. They were more or less from the fuck is that area? It's Ulster Scots. It was kind of a poor region where like they
Appalachia you're talking about, or the O's.
Yes, but where they came from in the UK,
the Highlands in Scotland.
Yeah, they had a very butchered pronunciation of English words, and X was actually one of them. And so there's a lot. It was
Thomas
white
Sowell
people.
wrote an entire book about
It's not that they were poor, it's just that they spoke Scottish Gaelic. And so the Queen had to make adjustments in Glengarry, Ontario, Canada.
Look, Ebonics has a direct line to peasantry in the Anglo-Saxon world. We just have to be honest about that. Nothing wrong with it, but
Well,
I mean, it has its origins in peasantry. Thomas Sowell wrote an excellent book that literally details the entire history of the. Go read it. It's called, if I remember, Black Rednecks, White Liberal, or White Liberal, Black Rednecks, something of that sort. But it literally goes through the entire history of this.
I mean, yeah, everything we do now, we learn from them. So.
But I understood when white people can't enunciate, no one ever questions their intelligence. But when black people
we don't.
Yeah, dude, we are brutal.
I say all the they must have gone stupid.
Like I don't think you understand. Like when it's like white people around, they will actually stop a person. Like, and I'm saying like in person, face to face, they will say that's not very good English. If you use the word ain't, like that kind of shit, they absolutely correct each other. Whereas we won't really do it to black people because it would be considered insensitive, and they often, But you understand they have a different dialect.
You hear ain't in country music all the time.
Yeah, but they're like that's where white rednecks and blacks have a lot of dissimilar words because they literally that's where do you think black people got it?
That is correct. No, that is absolutely correct.
That is not even true.
That is absolutely correct. Look, there's an entire book written on this. You guys can fucking
wait. I can prove this, King. You have Cajun Americans who are white, also. And I can't understand a word. Hell, I'm in Texas today, and half of the fucking time that I go to a store or anywhere out and about and I have to listen to people talk, I'm going, first, why does it take you a half hour to get to the fucking point? Secondly, what the fuck are you saying? Because I have no idea what y'all
in your mouth about Texas, buddy.
And look, Brad, this is somebody who likes to speak both. I love speaking Ebonics like I have no sense, and I love speaking proper American English. I can do both. We have to be honest about the foundation of these things, though. It's proper to speak it in one context, and it's proper to speak it in another.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can get thrown out of discussions because you're not black enough. You can lose your black card. So you're right about that. But guess what people said? I spoke very well. They said that I spoke Hebrew very well. And they was like, yeah, you have such a good flow and you pronounce the words just right. So I think it's just, I just think it's by chance with people. Maybe the way their teeth are set up. Because I would have never thought I would get complimented on Hebrew.
What?
Black people, we have to be masters.
This is the way your teeth are set up? What?
We have to be
So if I got braces, I speak better English?
That's what she meant.
What are we doing?
But somebody's going to sit better than that.
Can somebody fact check that? People with braces speak better English.
The language that you speak does form your mouth.
From the South.
The language that you speak does form your mouth differently. That's why you meet people who speak multiple languages and they have different mouth structure.
No, King was and that's what I think it is.
Look, what's funny is I had braces. I actually had braces.
What are you laughing at?
No, because you kind of tried to tie, I think, the proper speaking of a language to teeth structure, I think. You were trying to do that?
I just think that is why some people, like, there's a room called Heavy Hitters on this app. Yeah. I won't go in there because he growls. And I know it's a lot of masculine testosterone.
Testosterone is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, and some guys don't talk much. Some don't. And those are the ones I'm attracted to because if I'm comfortable with you, I go at it all day. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get back to the.
Yeah, because it gets silly at some point.
We're not arguing
over somebody else's. Like, imagine hearing the British people listening to all us Americans fuck up their shit.
Someone said it.
Yeah.
Just North Carolina's enough. They sound like country mouse.
Yeah, because we were talking about earlier about free speech, but can speech be considered violence?
No, that's just cope. No.
Speech can lead to violence.
Yeah, to violence, and we have.
If someone says, if you had an issue with someone and you run into them in the store and you meet them in a public place, and they say, "I'm going to kill you," is that violence?
Yeah, we have laws against that.
You're threatening.
Those are fighting.
You're
If
threatening.
they play like that, no, because the girl did that to my coworker yesterday. That's how they play.
But those are fighting.
That's correct.
You know,
Exactly,
Like,
but
it's
we're
like,
just
for
using the
instance-
broad
for
term
instance,
about how
here in
speech
Chicago,
is so
we say-
free, and it's not.
In
you know
Chicago,
what
we
I
say,
think would really demarcate violent speech from actual physical violence? Look, tell somebody, like, you can experiment this. Tell somebody, with all due respect to the panel and everybody in the audience, you can tell somebody, listen, fuck you, right? And punch them in the face and tell them, hey, which one hurts more? And maybe they'll demarcate it.
yeah, but this whole violence is speech is just it's an attempt by people who don't understand the foundation of America and the First Amendment and why this country was set up on those laws. When you advocate for speech as violent stuff like that, you're just exposing that you don't have you have no tie to Americanism as we understand it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you guys may think it's funny, you guys may think it's a joke, but it's not. We need to deport these people. I don't care. We need to deport you. The Constitution is very clear that we are supposed to be guarding against enemies, foreign and domestic. When you are pushing for shit like this, where you're literally espousing things that are contrary to Americanism, I think we need to have an honest conversation so we don't end up having a civil war.
Yes, sir.
But, hey, we can deport you to whatever country. We'll give you a flight, $100,000 or however much it is to go to whatever country you think would accommodate you and your retardedness. We have to be honest about this.
I agree.
I don't think they would go, King.
I think a lot of people wouldn't go, actually, Alpha. I think there's a lot of LARPers. There's a lot of people who espouse things where if they were put in a society where they had to actually live under the rule sets that they that come out of their mouth, they would flee those countries. And that's the sad part. So many people are literally they don't have the self-awareness to realize they're pushing for things that they would literally never live under.
I would say there's like one thing I noticed where it is, like in the UK, I'll see Muslims in the UK, they're saying like, I think it should be illegal to criticize any religion, not just Islam. And it's just like, so wait, hold on a second. So you're basically saying you want to change, they don't have true freedom of speech in the UK, but more so than
in Europe. They don't even have it in Europe.
Exactly. And so
I mean, you can
like,
say something, it's just not codified. So you can easily get caught up in it. You can easily get caught up in Scotland, because I wanted to check on some things, and they was like, now the people you hanging around speak Gaelic, so they gonna make fun of them in court. Say, what did you say? So yeah, Europe is a hot mess when it comes to freedom of speech. You have to be very careful what you say and how you gonna get yourself out of it.
Yeah, so like in the UK, you have like these Muslims who are basically they can't behave themselves if you if you insult Islam. They want to just make it so that you can't criticize any religion. Like they don't think that would be a good middle ground, which I do absolutely think that when it comes to certain people, especially immigrants from certain places, that should never be accepted. You should never accommodate those people.
But see, this is the thing, Pepe. Like when people try to, live their lives according to what is ideal, as opposed to what is actually real and affects them tangibly, that's where delusion happens. See, like you have people right now calling for, heresy laws, right? No, just no, because what do you mean by heresy law? Maybe I worship the Ferraris as a horse and as a car. So should that be also part of the law to accommodate my sensibilities? These things are so ambivalent and ambiguous. Where do you draw the line, man? That's my issue with it. Where do you draw the line? It's either free speech for everybody or for nobody. That's the thing. But what we are seeing right now is people saying no, free speech for me, no speech for you. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. It just goes back to what we were talking about earlier this week. People don't know how to dialogue, how to get a point over, how to persuade, how to market, how to do elevator. They just, you have a lot of people just don't want to hear it, and it's a good amount of them on this app. In certain types of rooms, you have to.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case.
More for entertainment.
But I don't think that's
they're kind of entertainment.
I don't think it's necessarily the case. Like with a lot of, like for example, the Muslim immigrants in the UK, it's not that they can't dialogue. It's just that they I mean, where they come, it's punishable by death, and they're intolerant to people criticize Islam.
Very intolerant. Very, very intolerant. Yeah. To the point, the women, they need to stay a step behind their husbands, because in Arlington County, Virginia, they are something else. I'd be like, you packed up off of me, like that. And they don't mean any harm. They evade your personal space.
Good afternoon, Pepe.
Hello.
How are you? I mean, Clito.
I haven't spoken to you in a while, Fatima.
I know you miss me.
Ooh, wait. Yep.
What's that all about? I'm getting jealous.
Y'all don't know, man, Pepe love black women.
Felicity, I'm the other side.
Yeah, y'all could just mind y'all business. But, Pepe, I wanted to chime in on this conversation. Did y'all talk about why free speech is an American thing?
I didn't.
So, the basis of free speech was so that, remember when before America was independent from the British, they weren't allowed to criticize the government or the king. So once they created this new democracy, they wanted people to be able to argue and criticize and, talk about how they felt about things. And they always wanted that to be, protected. That was they wanted their views, especially those that were unpopular, to be protected with the First Amendment. I think it is amendment, where, you have free speech. So with that being said, Americans are rooted in democracy. They're rooted in free speech. They're rooted in free autonomy, because the founding fathers didn't know what rule or authority was. They were trying to get away from it so that they can create their own rule or authority for others, right? Because they wanted to create their own systems. And that system is what we are in today. Those founding fathers found a way to basically monopolize off of their own voices and suppress others.
And who taught you this?
Your daddy.
My dad was definitely afraid.
She's not wrong because, she's not wrong, DJ, because in 17...
You wasn't listening to the actual lessons that my daddy was teaching you.
All right, DJ, she's not wrong.
Okay,
in 1735, a famous journalist was prosecuted, hung, and killed because of seditious speech, because he was a printer, Peter Zingler. And the founding fathers, when they were drafting the Constitution, actually said, hey, we don't want this kind of thing. Also, they believed it was a safety valve. They had watched numerous plots and oppression occur throughout Europe. And they said if people actually have the ability to speak about their grievances with the government, to be able to vocalize them and communicate them in a broad, open environment, it will not harbor ill feelings nor breed more revolutionary types to overthrow the government. Plus, it provides a safety check on the government, with the people can be informed and discuss the topics of the day at hand with their representatives, and it makes the government accountable for the people, by the people, we the people.
Well, more importantly, they knew it was vital to a free republic.
A free republic.
A free republic. It was vital. You have to have it. In order to have a free republic, you have to have freedom of speech.
That's true.
And these are the things people like John Locke wrote about.
Othello.
But I thought it would be the freedom of democracy.
Othello, I read your thing about how you want Ben Shapiro and who is this other guy?
John Stewart?
Not John Stewart. Your comments about John Stewart. Kash Patel need to go. Kash Patel is not going anywhere. He's actually doing a fairly decent job. I mean, for all once, he's done a lot of improvement. He's done a lot of coordination. He's done targeting. He's put people back on sexual crimes instead of putting them on political desks like Biden's administration. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the moves he's making within the FBI. I'm sorry that your favorite pundits who like to go on, Sunday morning talk shows and get their 15 minutes of fame aren't there anymore, but I'm pretty happy to see those guys go. But as far as Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro were the polite ones. Like, they're nice. The only problem with Ben Shapiro is he talks too damn fast. He's like a honey badger on meth in his debate styles.
But he sucks on helium before he talks.
He should be. But you have no idea who in the conservative circle is now getting elevated. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to continue to say this. You have Nick Fuentes, and you don't know shit about him other than the fact you don't like him. That's it. And he has said some racist things. And I will say this. He has said some racist things. He is much more than anything else there, and he's elevated him. You're bringing up Milo Yiannopoulos. He's coming back. Thank you, because I really wanted to hear the shit from Milo again in my life. And a host of others. You're going to have a huge network. You just handed the Republicans the midterms, the next presidential election, the election after that, and you're going to have more of society saying, no, I don't agree with the leftist ideas, and you're still wanting to cancel free speech, which is why you prove the point that the right does not need to come to the table and actually talk with the people on the left anymore.
That's the
What
thing,
they
I
ought to
agree.
do is hit the left with the table and just mud stomp them as they march on over and just do what they want to do anyway.
I agree with the Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens of the world. I'm on their side. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that there was an inner fight between the Nick Fuentes and the Candace Owens of the world and the Charlie Kirk ideologies. And that fight was over American blind support of Israel.
Well, not necessarily the fight, because that also pushed her out of the Daily with Shapiro, and all kind of pushed her out of Turning Point. But the thing is that I was looking at her yesterday, and she said, there are people who think they can fill Charlie's spot at a company he once owned that have no business there, and she said she'll die, protecting the company from them.
You'll never see Candace Owens. You'll never see Nick Fuentes get the kind of recognition that Church got because of their stances on Israel. They can never really get on the political unless the U.S. takes its government lobbies like AIPAC and whatnot. So you'll see them as as high as like a podcaster. You know what I mean? But you'll never see political.
Because they look at the AIPAC.
Hold on.
They look at the AIPAC as a foreign entity.
Why are you so focused? Every conversation. So here's the problem. You're so focused on what the Jews, oh my God, we gotta get rid of the Jews because I don't want to be the targeting group. Listen, I have never stop, hold on. I have never met more people who are afraid of one of the smallest demographics on the fucking planet.
You don't have to go through that spill.
I'll go through whatever I want to because I wore the uniform and actually fought for it. And I don't care about free speech from the left. I don't care about that.
That's not what's going on.
Why are you so focused on Israel? Israel is not our closest ally. It's not even the one we pay the most money to.
I understand.
You don't even understand how our economy works in terms of it. Nor do I give a fuck about it. If you were really paying pissed off about a lot of things, particularly 9/11. Like you claim, like I've heard you say, you would be like really pissed off at a country, I don't know, like Saudi fucking Arabia, where they were fucking
you don't have to go down
where
that
they
track.
were fucking funded,
And
where
Brad,
there's
also
71
Saudi
goddamn
Arabia has
presidents
the
that
highest in the lobby.
How about you just listen?
Oh, how about you listen
How
instead
about
of
you
talking
listen?
because you interrupt me, so now I don't have to be polite.
See, you don't even know.
I don't have to be fucking
know,
polite to
you. Don't even know
ignorant
the
fucking
perspective
cunt
that I'm
who
talking
can't
about.
fucking actually sit there and listen.
You don't
You
even know
want
the
to just
perspective.
go on and have your fucking viewpoint and no one else distinguish it because you just want to go with your
Just let me
anti-Semitic fucking
describe it.
rant
Let
that
me
you hate
describe
fucking Jewish people. I don't know if you're
you went on
craving
an
Jewish
anti-Semitic
cock
rant
or the
last
fact
week.
that you weren't fucking breastfed by
went
a
on an
Jewish woman
anti-Semitic
and you
rant
feel
last
left out.
week.
I
You
don't
went
give a
on an
shit about
anti-Semitic
what
rant
your
last
fucking
week.
viewpoint is
We
because I
all
don't have to
heard you go
respect
on
you.
an
I don't
anti-Semitic
have to
rant
sit
last
there
week.
and take it from someone who's so afraid of a
You went
small
on an
minority of
anti-Semitic
fucking
rant.
people and that you want to just run your fucking mouth
Wait, now
while
you're
anybody
different.
else
Wait,
contributes
is this a new
hey, I
Brad?
want to fucking go
Is
ahead
this
and
a
do
new
this.
Brad?
I don't
This
give a
must be a new
fuck
Brad.
about that because you're
Last
being rude.
week you went
and
on
I
an
don't have to
anti-Semitic
sit there
rant.
and take
We
it
have
from
you recorded.
I don't care what you have recorded. I don't give a shit
Now
about
you're the
anything you
biggest
say right
Israeli
now.
supporter.
I don't give a fuck. I will not be
Why
respectful
is
to
that
you
funny
because
being an
you
Israeli
went on
supporter?
an anti-Semitic
you
rant
cannot.
last week.
You don't have anything. And again, I don't give a
You
fuck. You
went
can
on
laugh
an
all you want to.
anti-Semitic
You're the
rant
one that's
just
sitting there
last
saying you're big jazz.
You went
big
on
Jewish
an
baddie,
anti-Semitic
fucking
rant
ball
just
up in your
last
face.
You
You're
went
afraid of that
anti-Semitic
shit.
rant just
You're
last
afraid
week.
of having some fucking
Brad,
Jewish
who
guy
is this?
drag his nutsack
Is this
up
the
and
same
down your
Brad?
face. Like I.
Is this a clone?
I don't fucking
You
know
went on
what
an
the hell you're
anti-Semitic
talking
rant just
about.
last week.
Again, you're just
You're the
fucking
anti-Semitic
spewing
one.
shit while
It's
talking,
you.
and you want to be platformed.
It's
So now I'm
you.
gonna platform you, fucking fat
you.
fellow. Whatever
You went on
your
an
bullshit
anti-Semitic
is,
rant
whatever
last
your
week.
fucking
Why the
little
change,
wannabe
Brad?
fucking
Wait.
fucking
Everybody
shit
asked
is,
Brad.
I don't give a fuck.
Everybody
because
asked
again,
Brad if
you
he went
sound
on an
asshole.
anti-Semitic
You
rant
sound like
just
some
last
fucking
week.
twat. You sound like a crybaby who wasn't
Wait,
there.
why the change, Brad?
Why? Sound like? What the
Why the
fuck is
change?
wrong with you?
Wait, so you're
Again,
not
you can't even
anti-Semitic this
fucking
week?
have respect.
What was
You
the
can't have
change?
fucking patience.
What
You
was
can't
the
even
change?
articulate, which is
What
why
was the
I'm
big
going to tell the
change?
right
What
to
was
take
the big
people like
change?
Othello and just like
What was
toss them.
the big change?
Just throw them.
You were just
run them over
anti-Semitic
with a
last
car.
week.
Do
What was
that
the big
shit
change?
over and over again.
We were all
until
in
you
the
can't
room.
get through. Until you can't, because
You went on
again,
your
they don't
anti-Semitic
give a
rant.
fuck.
What happened?
They just want they're pro-Palestine, which is a whole bunch of suicide bombers who can't figure out how to use a fucking dead man.
What
switch.
happened in my
They
friend's
can't
room?
fucking they want to throw gay people off of roofs.
You were just
that's all great, but it's
anti-Semitic
not
last
all
week.
pro-LGBT.
Why
because
the-
you
what-
fucking dick in his face.
Why the change of
So
heart?
again,
Did you watch
I
the
don't
documentary?
understand why you are still.
Why the big change of heart?
I don't have a change
You
of
were
heart.
just
I'm who I am. I
anti-Semitic
have
last
changed in
week.
fucking 5 years.
You went on a
You
10-minute
fucking
anti-Semitic
full
rant
of
just
shit.
last week. Why
I
the
wasn't
change?
talking shit on Jewish people last week. No one's ever heard me talk shit on anybody.
You went on an
fucking
anti-Semitic
moron.
rant in
And
my
if you said
friend's room
anything, and
just
if you're
last
trying to
week.
equate my critique of the Israeli government talking about their civil rights
Why the
issues
change, Brad?
and all of their government, that's
Why the-
not
why the
fucking being
change all of a sudden?
anti-Semitic, you fucking
Why
dumb
the change
ass
all of a sudden?
fucking piece of shit. Go back, read a book.
Why
I'll
the
tell you
change
what,
all
you
of a
need a
sudden?
library card, I'll teach you how
Why
to
the
sign
change
up
of
for
heart?
one of those. I'll teach you how to go order books
What
online.
happened?
There's
Did
this
they
app
have a
called
talk with you?
Amazon. You can order those.
Did they have
There's
a round table
bookstore
with
called
you,
Barnes
Brad?
and Noble. You can go in and buy books. There's a school that will literally teach you.
Hey,
There's
Brad,
old
did they have
people
a
at
round
the senior
table with you?
center that will teach you how
Did
to
they have a
fucking
round
read.
table with you?
I mean, again, the ignorant
I
child
get
is
it.
nothing.
I
You don't
get it.
have
I'm not
anything.
speaking
I don't
towards
give a
your left
fuck,
versus
dude.
right agenda.
You don't have anything
I'm
on
not
me because
speaking
again,
towards your civil-
everybody on this
Is it the
stage
Civil War
in this
agenda?
audience in 5 years
Nobody believes
knows
you.
me. You don't
Nobody
have any
believes
inner
the Civil
secrets
War
on you,
agenda.
motherfucker.
Nobody believes that there's a left versus right war. I'm sorry, Brad. You can't push it. It's
Oh,
doing
really?
it. It's done.
Oh, wait, there's not a left versus right war?
No.
What, really?
No.
I didn't watch Charlie Kirk get
It's a
assassinated,
psyop.
you dumb fucking moron.
That nerds like you
dumb
trying to push.
fucking moron.
It's a
You
psyop
fucking
that
piece
nerds
of
like
shit.
you are trying to push.
vile fucking cum state
It's a
that
psyop
hasn't
that
fucking
nerds
there.
like
You
you are-
supported 10
You ain't gonna do
humanity. You
You're
can't
gonna
fucking
be on
figure it out.
Clubhouse
There's
talking
not.
about
Just
it.
going shut.
And
you know what?
and
I am
somebody
so
else's
glad
kid is gonna fire
people
the
are
trigger.
so sensitive like you over MLK.
You're gonna be on
because I'm
Clubhouse
glad.
talking about
I'm
it,
glad
and somebody
that
else's kid is
MLK
gonna fire the
and
trigger.
others are getting shot because it
Because of
feels your
people like
feelings
you.
so much.
It's
I
a
don't give a
psyop.
fuck.
And you're
Fuck all
pushing
that
it.
shit.
Your old
I
ass
don't
is
care.
pushing it.
I don't really care.
You need to go sit
Anymore,
down,
you haven't
have a
done
mantra.
shit. You haven't said shit.
Go
You
look
haven't
at your
proved
retirement
shit. You
plan.
don't. There's not a war coming. You know what? You're right. I wish the conservatives would mount up and do a war because he's like, you can't even
Oh, you
serve
wish
to
for a
defend
war?
this fucking
Look,
country.
this guy-
To wear a uniform,
Idiot.
and all you can do is play Call of Duty and act like you know about war. You haven't sailed those seas. You didn't jump out of an airplane. You didn't fucking fire down range. You didn't have to get shot at. And all you do is laugh from the basement of your mommy while you're sitting there going, Mom, can I have more minutes for my cell phone? I'm a grown 30-year-old man who doesn't have a fucking job. You don't have a fucking job. You don't contribute to society. And you want the U.S. government, mainly people on the stage, to pay for you. Fuck your PSYOP bullshit. You're a fucking weird motherfucker. That baby's all yours. Have fun with this fucking one.
Bitch ass nigga.
Thought about that?
Bitch ass, I would swear to God, dude, I would bend your mama over and give you a brother.
Do what you gotta do.
Piece of shit.
Don't be mad when somebody Charlie Kirk.
You ain't gonna do it. I tell you what, yeah, have somebody come. I have guns, I have weapons. Come play. You wanna fucking come play? Come play, motherfucker. Show up at the door. Come on, motherfucker. You talk the law. Let's go. Talk the law. Come on, let's go. You wanna come up and shoot me? Come on. I dare you fucking punk ass bitch. You're fucking nothing. You're nothing. You wouldn't do anything because you know what you are? You'd walk out on the sidewalk. You'd look down at the ground.
You're pushing a style.
Stupid motherfucker. You would look down at me. You would bend your knee. I'll have you lick my fucking toes, motherfucker. I'll put you to fucking work. I'll have you gardening in my fucking backyard. I'll have you doing that shit.
Brad, you need to knock up his mom and give him another brother, and you'll be his stepdaddy, and then you can ground him and take his fucking phone away.
That's why.
Motherfucker.
Good God Almighty. Brad is another one of these motherfuckers pushing a psyop on the American people when we need to be
what if you're pushing a psyop that is
they're pushing a psyop on a
Have you ever thought about that?
fake civil war.
Perhaps people think you're pushing a psyop. Have you thought about that?
They're pushing a fake civil war on your kids so they can pull the trigger.
Yeah, I didn't go out and shoot Benjamin fucking Crump, did I? Or fucking Farrakhan or any of them motherfuckers, did I? But no, your side fucking decided to come shoot fucking Charlie Kirk.
Just because you're old
They did that shit. They did that shit, and then you want to go healing. Fuck your healing shit. You know what? You got pissed off when you got pissed off when what was it? Carmelo Anthony was fucking stabbing.
Just because your old ass is bored, you're pushing a
My old ass still can whoop the fucking black up.
We won't let you do it.
Who's we? You ain't got nobody.
We won't let
you don't
you
have
do it.
anybody in your
Left
corner.
and right.
There's nobody standing.
We won't let you do it.
You aren't that tough, dude. Nobody wants to
Cash
follow you.
Patel is being
You don't have it.
questioned
I hope
right now
Cash
by
Patel
the
does
Senate.
come and get you. I hope he does. I hope he does round you up. I
questioned
want
by the
fucking
Senate
broken
right
windows
now.
implemented.
They're not
I
gonna
want
let you
stop
do
and frisk. I want
They're
stop
not
and
gonna let you
beatings
do
to
it.
actually start
Jon
to occur.
Stewart didn't let Ben Shapiro do it.
Hey, you know what? Stop and beating sound great.
We're
I
not
want to do
gonna
that.
let you do
I
it,
want to
Brad.
see. I want to see people like you stop beating. I want Rodney King to look like a fucking Hallmark movie.
We're not gonna let you do it. We're not gonna let you do it, right and left.
Who's we? Who's we?
The American people. We're gonna stop you from pushing a psyop on these kids. We're not gonna let you do it.
But Othello, you're pushing a psyop of anti-Semitism on them too, don't you think?
No, I'm not pushing a psyop of anti-Semitism. But China just said today that America and Israel betrayed the world.
Wait, this dipshit is getting his news from China, and he's going to swallow that.
We're being
like
lumped
the fucking pile of cum from his fucking grandfather.
We're not going to let him do it.
Shit, this guy will deep throat anything out of Xi Jinping's fucking little aid. Like, you sniff the whole fart box all the way up in there. Are you all the way in there? Are you all the way in that? You're taking China's information? Are you a fucking moron?
Yeah, you guys are
too dumb to
You guys are focused on the pawns.
You are too fucking stupid. I definitely want to China
right war. That's what they
I want to. Part of the problem is you leftists are too fucking up there in the ass of fucking China, burying your face down in it to actually pull your head out. So the day I listen to fucking China, the day I listen to fucking China for you little twat waffles, I'm going to fucking. No, I don't care. I want to see that. I want to see that shit. I really want to see that shit. I don't give a flying fuck.
We won't let you do
listening to China. China told me the Jews are bad. That's your fucking
We
thing.
won't let you do it. It's not about Jews, baby.
Fucking idiot.
You can't do that.
You are proven to the state.
It's not about
Jews.
It's about
to actually have a conversation.
Not about
Shit, you are too fucking ignorant. You're the reason why we have to sit there and have to deal with fucking stupid shit like Israeli-Palestine. Meanwhile, you have no problem killing a Charlie Kirk.
His source is the South China Post. I mean, isn't that...
He's a fucking idiot.
Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Okay, George Floyd is a fucking
Shit,
pawn.
you're a pawn if you're listening to
And you're a
fucking China, you
pawn
dumbass. And they're not even paying you. They're not even giving you a reach around. You're doing it free.
He's trying to push a left versus right agenda on these good American people and their children so that somebody else...
Wait, how was George Floyd a pawn?
And you're un-American for that. We're not going to let...
The guy was a predicate felon, bro.
We're not going to let you do it. They want us to fight each other right now. That's the whole style.
I want to fight you because you're fucking retarded and talking up to fucking China. Because you're getting your information, whatever BBC that China has rolling in your ass balls, and you're fucking spitting out fucking cum because you're like, yes, daddy, China, give me some more. I want some extra stuff with that cum of some young guy over there. You're sitting there going, I need that in my life. You are sitting there going, believing that I gotta believe fucking China. Fuck China. Fuck that.
You sounded like an agent with an agenda. That's what you sounded like.
I'm not quoting China's sources, ass. You sound like the agent, you moron. Do you even hear yourself?
You gotta be
kidding me. You're retarded. You are beyond.
You're retarded for pushing a stab on these good American people. There's no left versus right war. And you won't stop it until another politician dies. You guys want to
China.
out there and kill another
fucking China. The same group, the same country that sent 5 balloons over here. I get it. You're a Biden sympathizer. I get it. That's why you're just all about that. That's fucking hate. You know what? I don't need soldiers to go to a civil war with the type of you. Our crab fishermen in Alaska who fucking defeated the Chinese Navy can fucking get much less you on for a day. Shit, I might as well march out the conservative women because that might be a fair fight for you at least. They will fucking beat the shit out of you. None of that shit. Nobody's listening to you because
you're not talking shit and you're not killing shit. Nobody.
I don't fucking China.
America should be healing.
You know what's funny about a statement is that at this time right now, when emotions are in commotion, right? A Chinese-owned social media company like TikTok is shutting down anyone with right-leaning views just so that it can make them feel like they're being, sidelined, right? And it's amplifying all these idiots that are supposedly on the left to create this atmosphere of animosity. So, Otello, your China is the provocateur.
No, you guys are the provocateur in these rooms pushing a fake-ass left versus right propaganda psyop agenda on the American people. Luckily, John Stewart taught it.
TikTok is amplifying that.
When Ben Shapiro tried to do it.
But TikTok is amplifying that by banning people who defend Charlie Kirk.
I'm proud of America.
I'm
proud of us for catching that
against Charlie Kirk.
Now they're questioning Cash Patel for his complicity.
I want 20 more Cash Patels against fucking Chinese psyop agents, fake fucking. You know what? I'm gonna call you Paper King. Because we already got I'm gonna call you Paper. Just so the two of you can be together. Paper fucking tiger. That's what you guys are. Fucking right paper going through. Listen, I don't give a shit what those like fucking Chinese fuckers have to say. I don't give a flying fuck about what you want. I don't care about how much you think they're great. I don't give a fuck about your opinion from China. If I wanted China's opinion, I'd walk over there, I'd smack the fucking kung pao chicken out of their heads, and then I would drag it and told them. I don't give a fuck. Listen, just like we talk, we
You're retired.
Wait. Just like we should that the U.S. can show them how the sun sets twice on their nation, who's got the bigger fireworks, I can promise you we can do that to China without a fucking blink in the eye. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what China says. China's non-relevant. China doesn't have anything on the U.S. I don't give a flying fuck what China says. You guys sucking up to China is the cringiest shit I've ever heard of.
Bullshit. Get off the boo.
These guys fucking up the China string.
Social media company that is actually, look, this is what it's doing. At this sensitive time, at this time where sensibilities are on fire, okay, and people are looking for things that you're calling about. Listen for a moment. The social media company of TikTok, owned by China, is banning accounts and suppressing accounts that are trying to be on Charlie Kirk's side while amplifying the lunatics who are celebrating his death. Now, you tell me, is that conducive to the current atmosphere in the United States?
Look, Alpha's not that bad. It's Othello that is quoting China, and then he's wanting us to listen to fucking China. This fucking moron who's never done a thing in his life is still living in mama's basement.
Retired pedophile on Clubhouse pushing a left versus right war among Americans. That is so un-American.
That's what TikTok is doing, though.
Period.
Come on, bro.
Period.
That's what TikTok is doing, though. That's what I'm telling you.
But anyway, they have a military person who's overseeing Cash Patel.
Cash Patel's being questioned right now by our Senate.
Right, and they have a guy that works at, there's a white guy in the military, works at the Pentagon, high-ranking person, and technically is the head of the FBI. Because Cash Patel glowed to profile a white guy who killed Kirk, because no black person really had that much vindication for him.
No, this guy's going to tell you that you have to listen to China. Every time you open your mouth, I'm going to
we know you're trying to deflect the room, but nobody
fucking
believes
cuckold that wants China.
Nobody
you want America there. You want to sell it off to that
shit. We called you out.
You didn't call me out. Nobody. Listen, dude,
locked in on your agenda, and it's not
here
going to
called
work.
me out for shit.
We locked in on your agenda,
you don't have me. My agenda is not to fucking sell me to fucking China, nor my kids. Nor allow fucking idiots to believe China doesn't have nefarious means or intent. And you can't even name a fucking city in China, but you're going to quote their news. You can't even find fucking the capital of China on a map, and you're going to tell me I need to listen to that. You don't even know anything about their economic policies. You don't know anything about their military construct. You have no idea.
There's no civil war.
Nothing. But you want me to listen to China because you think you have some mysticism because China tells you how great it is to live there. Let me tell you how great it is to live in China. They fucking sealed people up in their rooms to die and their homes while they had COVID. They tortured people. They killed millions of people when they came into power.
And the right.
But you don't have a fucking clue. You are too retarded to actually listen. You know what? You need to go quote Pol Pot. You would have a better chance with Pol Pot, Lenin. You would have had a better shot with any of them. But you can't even fucking do that. You went to China. You simple fucking cuckold. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there's this moron. That be it's your room, but you can have the Chinese suck up here. You and his little fucking rhetoric all day long.
We're not gonna let you push that agenda. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want everybody to lock up and put into fucking internment camps. Chinese sympathizers. Anybody who sits for China at a great limit, I think we need to open up internment camps and lock them up.
We're not going to let you push that agenda on the good American
TTR.
Oh shit, that's me?
Yep. Albino with alopecia.
Oh shit, where's his chest though?
Wait, did you guys know that Ludwig has albinism and alopecia?
What in the world's going on here? Is talking about
Ludwig.
Your mom is.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
Your mom is.
Ludwig, I've seen your real picture. You have albinism, and you have alopecia, which is fucking wild. You're literally powdery.
And still, your mom is.
Now the real psyop began. Like right now with the albinism stuff.
The best thing to come out of this death is the Charlie Kirk Act. Why? Because the Charlie Kirk Act is going to hold people like Brad and people that are pushing this left versus right agenda responsible for any more deaths. Check it out. It's called the Charlie Kirk Act. Anybody pushing this propaganda on good American people, trying to get our kids involved, trying to radicalize our kids to go shoot another politician, slap the shit out of them when you see them. America needs to heal right now.
Wait, how do you stop violence by going and
slap the shit out of them?
Yo, come on, man.
Anybody pushing that propaganda, slap, and then Charlie Kirk.
Here's what you do. Anybody who quotes China and tries to do this, you run them over with a car. You fucking accidental fucking backing them up in a parking lot. You know what? It won't even be a hate crime at this point. I'm fine with it.
I mean, Othello, you keep on saying that this is like somehow it's not right versus left. Okay, all you've been saying are a bunch of. Well, first of all, you have this faggot that ended up. I don't know if he's trying to impress his boyfriend or I don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
You know, that's what he is.
And so, like, he ended up shooting him because, you know, he was a lefty that hated his views. And then we've seen all of the American lefties, not Chinese people, sit here and, you know, celebrate his death. These are real Americans that had real American jobs, and so they got fired in America. I mean, this is left versus right. For whatever reason, you think that it's like it's not real.
Right.
This
it's
is
an
stupid.
Fight between the right wing. It's right on right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're really
These were lefties
you're really slipping, Pepe.
that were celebrating his death, and like what do you think it's actually about? It's right versus white. I mean, that is stupid.
It's right versus the right wing.
Pepe, you're letting these blacks get away with way too much.
It's between the Nick Fuentes of the world, and it's between the Charlie.
Had nothing to do with Nick Fuentes.
Yes, it is.
Fucking idiots.
This is an infight in the right wing.
I told you this. I told you.
It must have a lot to do with Fuentes. You listen to some of Candace tapes when it comes
Listen
to
to the fucking idiot
Just last night.
I mean, we know that I've known for years the Groypers and Turning Point USA have been publicly feuding with each other. That's actually how the Groypers really made a name for themselves, is trolling Charlie Kirk on his campus tours. And you know, it was a pretty outrageous.
He didn't know this stuff. He doesn't know those.
But you know
those areas.
what is
He's quoting fucking China. He's quoting Chinese sources.
He's quoting TikTok University.
I'm connecting all
the Journal of TikTok
together because I actually research and I study. And
No. You have Chinese Pooh Bear dick in your butthole, and so you need to cleanse those chocolate cheeks and get that Pooh Bear dick out of your butt.
We can use ad hominem and deflect from the actual subject matter, but it's not going to.
That was not ad hominem. That was factually accurate.
This is what we do.
Hold on. You know what I really found funny?
You look like powder. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe I'm next. Look, Andrew Tate, you are not a debater, okay? And nobody's after you, Andrew Tate. The only people after you are those women from Romania.
Wait, why are we talking about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate don't have shit to do with what the fuck is going on right now.
Come on, bro, stop it, man. Andrew Tate coming out saying, maybe I'm next. Man, shut up, bro. You're not that important. Shut up.
Oh, well, that's a little off the beaten path, but he already was next. For, you know, basically freedom of speech when they got house arrest in Romania.
No, that was for sex trafficking.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
No, that was sex trafficking.
He's never been charged, let alone be.
No, he's been charged. You mean
But
found guilty?
they make up shit with you when you do have freedom of speech.
Oh my god, the biggest conspiratorial person on here
And
saying
keep
something
in mind,
not a
Oh,
conspiracy.
please. Anything that you don't agree with is conspiratorial.
That's because they hide.
My truth is my truth.
No, you're
not my man,
you're
so I'm
huge
not
into
gonna side
conspiracy
with you.
theories, Connie. What are you
Yeah,
talking
well,
about?
you're not my man, so I'm not gonna sign.
You know what I found funny though, Othello? Like, you're not consistent, man. You cannot come and tell me that, China is somehow caring about the state of the world, especially what's happening in Israel or what's happening in America. Do you know why? Because, like I said, TikTok is the one right now perpetuating what you are talking against.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to respect China, but what I'm saying is...
No, it's not about respecting China. I'm just saying if China was an honest broker of truth,
let me respond to you.
Then the social media companies
doesn't matter what I'm
saying. How do you feel about the weakness?
China used their voice to denounce us, and that's it. Now,
no,
whether you respect them or not,
but that's not the point I'm driving
the
here.
point that
What I'm
China
telling you,
used their voice to denounce us today.
No, look, what I'm telling you is this. If China was an honest broker of truth, not that they cannot be, but at the moment they're not. What I'm saying is if they were honest brokers of truth, right, the social media company owned by them, TikTok, would not be attempting to suppress one side and amplify the other because they know at this moment,
have their own
now,
skeletons, I understand.
things are edgy. And people will have the perception that we're being suppressed. And it may not necessarily be by the left, but this is what they're doing. They're creating a rift.
I understand that they have their own skeletons.
It has nothing to do with skeletons. I don't think you understand how this works. I don't think you understand how propaganda works. Now, there's a lot of people think that they're somehow trying to, that the ultimate goal of, like, for example, Russia or China is to change our opinions on something. And so in another way. That's actually not what their goal is. Their goal is to muddy up the waters and damage the reputations and the narratives of both sides so much that Americans will start becoming more apathetic and not trusting either party. It basically is a way just to fuck with the United States, so that it's harder for us to get things accomplished, so that we're less unified. And like when it comes to China and like Russian propaganda, I don't think you realize just how harmful it is and why they seek to do it. It's absolutely in their best interest for America to be weakened, and for Americans to not really want to be on board with any, especially geopolitical endeavors they might want to accomplish.
Basically, to demoralize them.
Yeah. To Pepe's point, we got to be honest. Israel lost the social media war. And I think the IDF is doing the right thing, but it's just like Pepe was saying, the propaganda has been flooding the social media, and that's where they're losing the war at. So once they tighten that up, I think, the American people, or people in general that disagrees will change their opinion. But right now, the social media war is getting guys like the guy that's talking about Palestine and Russia and all that. Social media got him. And I don't know if we can ever get those people back, but I'll land there.
Like, irredeemable, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them back, because it's just their thinking is just fundamentally flawed. These are the same people that you have to sit here and have an argument about over what is a woman and all of this other nonsensical thing. So I think the mentality is going to remain the same.
You know what I find funny though, Victoria, is that whenever people ask a question, what is a woman, they ask a man instead of asking an actual woman. No, have you guys noticed though? They never ask
most of those
what is a woman.
Trying to pretend to be women, so you're asking them, what the fuck is a woman? Because clearly, under my circumstance, I couldn't call a fellow a woman, but I mean, he wants to identify as one, a Chinese woman to be precise. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, has the definition changed? I need to figure this out. Why would I ask Connie? Because she's been a woman all her life. I have to sit there now and figure out what this new interpretation is. And so people like Othello who want to be a Chinese little fucking girl in like one of those dresses, he wants to fucking, have butt plugs and be a woman these days. And I can't figure it out why. I do not know why. They want to be Chinese simps. They want to fucking suck at the dick of Kung Pao chicken and want to fucking have this whole idea that they somehow have the answers, and that China is so perfect, and China has all these great ideas and inventions and all this shit. When I'm like, do you know the history? Do you know that they kill fucking people? They just murk people. They grab them off the street and murk them. Like, you're aware of that shit. Like, their human rights violations are astronomical, but they don't allow people in, and when people do question it, they get fucking murked themselves. Like, China is not nice. It isn't powerful. Its economy is fucking on the brink of collapse.
No one was arguing
It doesn't have an infrastructure.
So what is the tariffs doing to China right now?
China is like basically saying, we're already broke and we're fucking crippling further. They have entire cities that are empty. They built this shit with money from your tax dollars, and they're empty. There's no one living in it.
No one was arguing that. I mean,
Well,
I guess that's one way to deflect from the point. I guess
You should go look that up about those cities that China's building.
You wanted to attack Israel, and then you wanted to say China told me. So that's your gist. Is Israel because China told me.
So you
That's
gotta
what
listen.
you said.
You gotta
That
listen.
the Jewish people were the reason for
now
Charlie
you're trying to
Kirk
bring
getting
the Jewish people
assassinated,
into this.
which
What's
is the
going on
furthest
here?
from the fucking
What
truth.
is this?
You fucking communist.
You're doing some like Karen-esque type shit right now. That wasn't the quote, or that wasn't the point. I'm saying China. I was just saying China used their voice to say that America and Israel betrayed the world, and further, Netanyahu is making us complicit in his crime. Nothing about the Jews, because some Jews believe this.
It's
It's
Netanyahu.
nothing about the Jews.
Wait.
Because a
What
lot of
crimes
Jews
did
believe.
Netanyahu commit? What crimes? Give me the crime. Sit up. Don't Google it.
Okay.
Don't fucking Google it. Don't
Okay, you have
use
one
that
crime.
Google. Tell me the fucking.
You have one crime where Netanyahu, right?
Wait, what's the fucking crime?
The crime where Netanyahu led the people that he was supposed to negotiate with for
That's not a.
yes, it is. Into new territory.
What is the fucking
right? Into new territory.
What neutral territory? What territory was neutral?
Second, the overkill
territory
in Gaza.
was listed as neutral?
Second, the
territory
overkill in Gaza.
was listed as
the overkill
because
in
there is
Gaza.
no neutral territory
Second, the
around
overkill
Israel.
in Gaza.
There is no neutrality around Israel.
Second,
what neutral territory are you talking
in
about?
Gaza is his second.
Gaza is not a neutral.
The overkill in
It
Gaza
is not a
his
neutral
second.
territory.
Starving the
He did not
Palestinians.
invade a neutral
I don't
territory.
Starving the Palestinians is his third.
Othello, you know what is so
is his third.
Othello, you know what is so really listen, you know what is so unsubstantial about what you're saying, and in a long line of those who criticize Israel, sometimes rightly, sometimes very wrongly. Look, there's been more sanctions against Israel than North Korea, despite North Korea threatening World War III, right? There's been more resolutions against Israel, right, than any other country in the world. So I don't see the neutrality of this.
I don't want to do the what about
towards Israel.
I'm talking about what's happening on the grounds right now. The what about?
You don't even know what's happening on the ground.
Put that in the
neutral
toilet.
territory. You can't name a crime, and you're citing all this
I
shit
just
because
named
you
three
just have some
crimes.
Chinese rhetoric.
I just
on your
named
mouth.
three
You
crimes.
didn't give anything.
I
You
just
haven't
named three
provided
crimes.
one fact.
I
You
just
can't
named
back
three
up or
crimes.
substantiate one
I
fact.
just named three crimes.
You didn't name a crime.
I
There's
just
no
named three
neutrality
crimes.
around Israel.
I just named three
Shit,
crimes.
there is no neutrality
Hold on, Brad.
around Israel.
Let them go at it, dude.
No, I was just gonna mention something. Monica text messaged me. She said you need to get your niggers in check.
Amazing. All right, go ahead.
I let him know, Monica.
Did she really do that?
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't. All right, come on, you guys, continue.
But again, there's no neutrality. This idiot is
Wait,
just
hold
saying
on.
off of fucking something he hasn't proven that Netanyahu. You haven't even cited one fucking crime. You haven't cited one example. You haven't backed it up. Netanyahu has not violated any of the quote neutrality agreements that are out there that you claim exist because it's not there. All you want to do is blame Jewish people. That's what you is. That's what you have. You're like, I want to stand with pro-Hamas fucking cocksuckers that want to fucking
anti-Semitic
want to rape American citizens.
Brad,
you are that Chinese suckers. I hate to tell you this. On October 7th, there were Americans that were raped, tortured, kidnapped.
You were just
and
anti-Semitic last
for nothing
week,
more
Brad.
than going to a music fucking
Wait, am I the only person that heard
act
Brad's
like you want to support
anti-Semitic
the
rant?
side that fucking
You were
raped
just
Americans.
anti-Semitic rant last
Fuck you.
week.
Fuck Fuck your little wannabe
We
ass.
can't trust
Go the
you.
fuck home.
Brad,
Get
we
the fuck
can't
out of my
trust you.
country.
You were just
Go to whatever
anti-Semitic
mud hut
last
you
week.
want to sit for and go die
No,
there
he
so
was
we
just
put a warhead
anti-Semitic last
on
week.
your
What
forehead.
happened? Did
Get
he
the
get
fuck
blessed from
out of
around
here.
by
I
Hashem?
don't give a fuck. You fucking
he-
are
did he have
against
some grand
Americans. You're
awakening?
okay with rape, torture,
Did he have some
kidnapping,
grand
and
awakening?
murder of Americans. You
were
support the
just
fucking group
anti-Semitic
that
last
did
week.
that shit. That's
we
what
go
you
one
are.
at a
You
time?
fucking cock monkey piece of shit.
Brad, you were just anti-Semitic last week. Now you're anti-black.
No one has ever heard me be anti-Semitic.
What's going on?
No one has ever heard me. Fuck you.
You were
Fuck that horse.
anti-Semitic,
Fuck
and you
everything
did the
said.
same rant against the Jew, and you.
I never gave you a rant against the Jews.
Yes, you did last week in my friends
Give me
room.
the fucking audio clip because I can promise
look,
you in 5
you're
years
anti-
I have never said anything
Brad
anti-Semitic
has
about
never
Jewish
been
people. I don't give a
anti-Semitic.
fuck.
We don't know who the.
Connie has. Brad
Brad
has
has
not.
never been anti-Semitic. I
Yeah,
have.
Connie has. Brad has.
I can't be because I have a heritage of Ashkenazi either, so I don't. I don't.
He was
want to
anti-Semitic in my friend's
myself.
room just last week. Okay, he was doing the same shit where he goes off on anybody that has a different opinion than him.
Critiquing Israel or critiquing someone who comes in and gives a lie about Israel, gives a lie about something else, and pushing back saying, hey, no, we are perfect angels. We do all this shit. That's not fucking being anti-Semitic, you fucking twat waffle. That is not. What I said was when that idiot came up there and said, we're not killing people, we're doing the most righteous and religious and moral war without the least amount of carnage or damage. And I said, that's bullshit because I can pull up the videos of missiles attacking. You can critique Israel's stance. You can critique the politics of Israel. Fuck the country before October 7th was marching in the goddamn streets. I can go ahead and do that. But what I don't do is sit there and condemn a whole group of people. And I sure as shit don't sit there and side with the people that fucking raped, tortured, and murdered American fucking citizens at a music festival and then say, oh, Israel's the problem. Israel's the problem. No, you're the fucking problem.
We literally doing the same thing.
You're the fucking problem.
We're literally doing the same thing.
You being the fucking problem.
We're literally doing the
You
same
need to have
thing.
your head
We're
fucking
literally doing the same thing.
I want this. I want BLM. I want
You just exposed yourself.
I want American American lives fucking matter. You piece of shit. You vile, disgusting human being. When you figure out your priorities, then you can come talk to me.
You're doing the same
Until
thing,
then,
Bradley.
you stay in your fucking
Bradley,
ratchet
you're doing the same
Palestinian,
thing.
fucking Hamas,
You're doing the
fucking
same thing,
Hamilton,
Bradley.
whatever fucking bullshit
You're doing
you
the
want to
same
do.
thing.
I don't give a fuck. I'm stand in between you and the fucking people of everywhere. Has fucking shit.
We're doing the same thing, baby
Stupid
boy.
fucking idiot.
We're doing
Go
the
back
same
and
thing,
pretend
Bradley.
that you're a fucking
Hey,
Chinese
Bradley.
girl. Make your little
Bradley, you were
voices on
anti-Semitic
TV
last
and
week.
go
Now
back
you're
to doing your
anti-Chinese?
fucking OnlyFans for fucking gay Chinese men. That's what you need to do.
You were
You fucking
anti-Semitic
piece
just
of
last
shit
week.
faggots.
Why the change? You were anti-Semitic just last week. You went on your whole rant against the Jews just last week in my friend's room. Oh, what changed? Did you have some grand realization by Hashem? What happened?
But that had to be bipolar because I've been watching Brad and I've never seen him act like that.
I don't care what it is.
He's making shit up, and he's
We
going to
don't-
go
we
into
can't
a
say-
story about
we don't
Israeli
know that
politics
from a
and
can
being
of paint.
anti-Semitism.
Brad,
So-
are we not familiar with each other from
Yeah,
other
we've known each other
houses?
5 fucking years. Like this is a whole thing. Even the Jewish community on fucking Clubhouse. So this little twat waffle who wants this.
That's what I'm saying.
And-
We got
and-
no
Y'all said all the
ill
rooms
in
are
this
recorded, right?
community on Clubhouse.
You guys said all the rooms are recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go get the recording.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going to hold a fucking massive room. And we're going to analyze.
First off, the
word
2
bar
people
for
that
bar.
came to your room
We're going to
before I
analyze
got
it
there
word for word.
is proof
And
that you
better
can't hold a massive
You
room.
better John Kitover doesn't have the
But the
recording.
thing about it is,
You better hope.
but the thing about it is, I'm Ashkenazi descent, and I know about more rooms than you do, and you don't got nothing on Brad.
Listen, honey, you wasn't in the room when I heard it, okay?
Okay, girlfriend.
Why you sound so gay, Othello?
Go ahead and
It
do
was
this
my
for
friend's
entertainment.
Akima,
Go
did you
ahead.
hear that
Do
too?
this for entertainment.
It was my friend's room, and you were not in there, honey. I was in there, other Jews were in there, and other people were in there. And we all heard his anti-Semitic.
Bring
He's
one
off
of the
rails.
Jews here then. Bring one of
He's
those.
off the rails.
Go ahead. Bring
He
him
can't
in.
control himself. Look how he tried
All
to
right,
twist my
Brad,
comment
I'll be
about
the
Israel. Talked about
determining
Jews.
factor here. Go ahead, tell me what you said.
Very simple. I believe someone came up and said Israel is doing a perfect, war. It's the most moral. The same fucking bullshit, optic-wise rhetoric that you've heard on Clubhouse from pro-Israel. I personally say they should just go in and fucking carpet bomb the entire area. And I don't give a fuck. Kill grandma, kill fucking whatever. I don't give a fuck. First, they attacked and killed Americans. I've always said that. I don't give a fuck about the people of Gaza. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care about human rights. I don't give a fuck. War is war. But you can tell the twat waffles who have never wore a uniform, which
Well,
is
that's
a
not anti-Semitic.
So,
you can only be anti-Semitic against Jews.
That was
So,
what
and
he
here's
said.
my point.
Anti-Semitism just means
I'll
the
tell you
hatred
this.
of Jews.
But for
Othello.
people of Israel or pro-Israel to come up here and say, we are doing the most moral. War is fucking war. I am not giving you like an A in the moral category
Yeah, I
because
would
I
have carpet
can
bombed
watch.
Gaza too.
Yeah, you can fucking drop bombs. You're killing
I would've done
civilians.
like
That happens
Stalingrad.
in wars.
Brad, answer
So
this question.
spare this shit. And again, so I can critique it. Israel has a problem with its civil rights. It's going to have a
Agreed.
realization and a culture clash in regards to that. It also needs justice reform, which is why half the country was
Yeah,
protesting.
every
in the
Jew
streets
on
of
earth
Israel.
agrees with that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's not
confused.
anti-Semitic.
Brad, you didn't tell that Jewish guy this is why everyone hates you. in my friend's room?
It's not anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Did you say it, Brad?
That's why people get pissed off at Jewish people. Yes, because they come in there with that when that guy was going.
Oh yeah, we're super arrogant and
you guys
condescending.
Said this is why everyone hates you.
I mean, it's because we're
not
superior.
Anti-Semitic, dipshit.
Oh, I'm just asking. Did you say it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to do that.
We get down to there's more stuff. But I've established.
Yeah, Othello, we are arrogant and condescending to you people because we're better than you, Othello.
I've established that you went on rant.
Here's the point. When you have these Israeli guys come in, and not that I let Othello fucking go off on Jewish people, that way his anti-Semitic ass. But what I push back on those like very arrogant Israeli individuals who come in and say that Israel can do no wrong. And then you look at the history of it and say, I can highlight this. And currently, the people of today are marching in the streets about justice reform and reformation and civil rights in fucking Israel. Well, then that proves to be a problem that Israel is not absolutely perfect.
Brad, I can tell you one thing that Jews will really care about. Do you believe that Israel has the right to exist as a state?
Of course it has the right to.
There you go. That's all Jews care about.
Okay.
Anything else is just conjecture.
Go through what he said.
Who cares?
Piece by piece. Piece by piece. I'm going to hold a grand master.
I mean,
we're going to go.
But like I said, Othello, we're above you. You're beneath us. The highest median IQ of any ethnic group on Earth. We hold more wealth than any other group on Earth, especially per capita. Just saying. So Brad's saying that we're like arrogant and that you hate us. I mean, that's justified. No, it's justified. As long as we own you, we don't care if you're mad at us, though. You can be mad at us all you want.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is getting boring. I mean,
I said that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, never come from me.
And that's what Monica said.
What I don't get is like the blacks, like your guys' whole thing with Jews. Like, why do you care about them so much?
It's not about Jews.
Othello definitely is anti-Semitic. He fucking hates the Jews.
Stuff about all Jews. This is why they hate you.
Othello, you're one of the most anti-Semitic people I've met on here.
Only Brad has
you hate the Jews, Othello.
Yeah, but what he said was not anti-Semitic.
We've all said that because when everybody knows when you criticize Israel, there's a certain group of Jews who get upset, and the first thing they want to respond with is you're anti-Semitic, just for even mild criticism of Israel. So it's just like what the blacks do. When you give blacks criticism about the black community, first thing they want to do is what? Call you fucking racist. So all people have called out is, what it does is it makes you look bad. Just like anybody, it shuts down the fucking conversation and the debate and makes it look like you fucking lose. That's criticism.
And even if you have a mixed heritage, you get your black card stolen. And they'll whisper things behind your back like, well, I don't like Delia because she's Native American, or you don't act black enough, you don't talk proper enough, which messed my head up as a child because I failed poorly in English and literature classes for some time. But yeah, that is true. That I don't care who you are, if you are not talking about what they want to talk about on their vibe with black people, your card will be taken from you.
Yeah, so it gets old, Othello, because people want to have a conversation, and again, it goes against American values of freedom of speech, which includes criticism, whatever you want, race, religion, whatever you want. You should be able to criticize and be able to have the conversation. But when people immediately they want to call you homophobe, xenophobe, racist, anti-Semitic, whatever, when you haven't been disrespectful, you haven't condoned any type of violence or taking away people's rights, you just simply want to criticize and have a conversation. It's lame as fuck, and nobody appreciates it.
I agree, and that's what Brad tried to do to me when I was bringing up my point. And so I just held the mirror up to him, and I'm saying, okay, you want to play that game?
Brad, I think you got to put your boots back on his neck.
We got the recording on you.
Then play it. You act like I'm scared. You act like I haven't been on Clubhouse nor had some of the largest political rooms that existed out here. Like I've held the same fucking language, the same stance for literally everybody. I critique white people. Othello doesn't get up in his like little fucking fake vagina feeling that way when I critique white people. When I was critiquing the fucking whatever, the one Israeli pro IDF guy who is like, we're angels of God, kind of coming down. He didn't get upset then. When it comes to it, and let me mind you, this is the same guy who is literally fucking pro-Americans getting killed, and he's pro-China. Like, at the end of the day, I can't make this shit up. But I've held these rooms, and I hold the same stance. I have never waffled my critique of Israel. I don't care. But I also said there are Americans. There are Jewish Americans. And the minute they were touched in Israel, and I've said this from day one, I wished we would have carpet bombed the fuck out of Gaza. I would have made a McDonald's, a fucking Popeye's chicken, and a Walmart and put it over them and said, here is the Gaza fucking shopping. That's what I would have done. Because the minute you touch an American, I have a fucking massive problem. I don't care what race, culture, or ethnicity you are in fucking America. I care that if somebody else from another place in this world, another country, another fucking little wannabe terrorist band touches an American, I want to fucking kill you. I want your ancestors. I want your fucking children. I want all of your offspring. I want them eliminated. I want the fear so big that when people say, hey, that's an American, other people run when they want to do bad shit. I want Americans to walk the globe in peace and security, and they should have that. They have paid for that with sweat, blood, money, treasure. They've sent their kids off to die in foreign wars on foreign soil to ensure that. We should have that. And if Israel, thank you for returning hostages, I will hand that off to you. You have my deepest, sincerest appreciation because the cuckold fucking Biden administration didn't do that. And he didn't unleash our 25 fucking 100 devil dogs that wanted to go in and fucking get our Americans back. Thank you, IDF, for returning at least them. I am grateful for that. But still, I want the heads of fucking Hamas. I'm proud that the IDF sent beepers and blew up fucking nuts off of fucking part of these collabs and terrorists. I'm happy that they struck in Qatar because at least they're doing something. But to sit there and say it's a holy war and that they're doing it perfectly and they're not harming anybody, you're full of shit. Stop with this whole Jewishes are the superheroes and you're doing it on a moral basis. You're conducting war. You're killing women and children. It's okay. It's part of fucking war. Civilians always pay the price in every fucking war. It does not matter. But you know what? Hats off to it because I'm with you. I would have fucking steamrolled through.
What I'm saying is, Brad, I'm a master chess player. Don't ever play the
You're not a fucking master anything.
You don't even know how to play checkers.
Dude, Othello,
you can't even get tic-tac-toe right.
Don't ever play the anti-Semite.
Othello, here's the problem. Othello, here's the problem. And so I've been letting you guys go at it. Now, look, dude, just like how, personally, I would like, I just want...
I want to play you chess right now.
Let's do it.
But like when it comes to, the thing is though, is we were just having a conversation about, what was posted up above. And then like for whatever stupid reason, you start bringing up Jews and it's just like, we don't care. Now there are some, if you wanted to criticize maybe certain bills, BDS laws, sure, we could have done that. But like, this is, the speech that Pam Bondi was talking about had nothing to fucking do with Israel or Jews.
Why are we talking
it was
about
just
Jews?
obnoxious.
Why are we bringing up Jews?
You brought them up.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
brought it up.
Netanyahu.
No, you brought up how Brad's an anti-Semite,
I brought up
and
Netanyahu. I didn't
Israel,
bring Jews. Why are
and
we
how
talking
much you
about
hate the Jews.
Why are we talking about Jews?
Because you brought up the fact that, well, not the fact, but you brought up that Brad was anti-Semitic, so that's how we got on.
And then Othello, you went into a rant about how you want to kill all the Jews.
He said that China told him about America and Israel, and then he wanted to go off on Israel. And again, the gang laughed really.
Everybody in the audience remember what I just said and spread the word far and wide.
Shit, if you can make baseless claims against Brad, why are you gonna get mad when someone does the same?
It's not baseless. It's not baseless. Oh,
well, you haven't provided any evidence, so
okay.
Dude, me saying, dude, I've told Jews, dude, every time you open your mouth, you just create another anti-Semite, dude. Because, like, you're just a whiny, bitch that just, like, tries to shut down speech by saying, no, that's offensive, that's anti-Semitic. You do get you get some Jews that are, like, really fucking whiny. And
we do feel that
it's a
way about
really
the
bad
French
look.
after meeting though.
I don't feel that way.
Wait,
My
did you
focus
just
is
say
on
they were the
Netanyahu.
French Jews?
I don't feel that way. They have a right to speak out against people.
If Rich, if you said they were the French Jews, I'm going to
But
give
I'm
you
not
that one
about to play
because
the
that one might be
anti-Semite
true.
game and accuse any of you just because I want to deflect
I
the
think
point.
Pepe is.
Stop it.
I'm not Jewish.
You know your DNA.
My brothers have. There's literally 0%.
Only goes back 6 generations.
I don't know what to say.
No, you just act Jewish. That's all.
Amazing.
But I do think you talk
You're
about
more
Jews
bitchy than
too
Mel.
much. I do think he talks. I agree with Cleto. He does talk about Jewish people too much. If anyone should be talking about it, should be me. But I don't even talk about it that much.
Who's talking about
You do. You do whine. You do whine. You do whine.
What did I say about Jews?
Well, for one, you said you're going to bring them into. You're going to bring all these tapes for these imaginary rooms where Brad was talking.
What's wrong?
What's wrong with talking about Jews though? What's wrong with that?
Look, you playing that game too? Come on, they got you up to this too.
Well, no, we don't mind if people talk shit about Jews. It's Odell's claiming.
Yeah, you can talk shit about them all you want. You can talk shit about them all you want.
Yeah, just be honest.
All right.
You talk shit about them all you want, but it's like if it's not like if we're having a conversation about something totally unrelated, and then somebody just uses it as an excuse to bring up Jews, it's like,
Okay, Thug, imagine Pepe stood up here right now and said that he's never said the N-word. Would you crash out on him?
Nah, because I know it's not true.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing with Othello. Othello's like, I love the Jews, but he spits in their face all the time.
You got any proof of that?
Yeah, your words.
Okay, my words about Netanyahu.
No, your Israel,
Does he
Gaza,
represent all Jews?
genocide of the
Does Netanyahu represent all
Palestinians, and
Does Netanyahu
crimes.
represent all Jews?
Oh, God, you're so annoying, Othello.
Oh, there we go.
No,
Okay,
he doesn't
go back into
represent
your rat
all
cave.
Jews everywhere.
Go back
he
into
goes.
your rat cave.
That's the dumbest fucking take ever. He
Shut
does
the
not
fuck
represent
up.
all Jews. Why? If he did, why was half of the country protesting?
Exactly.
You dumb motherfucker.
Ooh, you hit it right on the nail, Brad.
I knew it. Like I'm just done with the whole like.
Hey,
I'm,
Brad,
like
Brad,
yeah,
do you think
don't
it's
ever
anti?
play.
You know what?
Don't
You know
ever
what
play
pisses
with
me
me,
off
Brad.
about this the
Don't
most
play with me
is
on that
it's fucking
anti-Semite
cuckolds like you who fucking
We
want to
got you
cry
recording.
about the
We
Jews,
got you
and then you're
recording.
like on your knees. The Jews are taken away. I blame the Jews. The Jews are the source of
blames the
everything
Jews?
wrong in the world. My life would be perfectly fine without X group. That's what you tell people, and that's the problem
When?
you have. And then
When?
you're gonna cry that
We
it's
only got
racism.
you recording
If
saying
white
that.
people
We
sat
only
there
have
and
you
said, you know what,
recording saying
my country would be
We
better
only
without
have you
black
saying
men
that. We
screaming
only
about
have the
Jewish people.
recording of you
You would
saying
have a fucking conniption.
We only
You
have
would
the
be
recording of
crying.
you saying
But you
that.
have no problem.
Only you
no
have said
composure,
that on Clubhouse.
No composure to sit there and
Only
do
you
the
have
same
said
thing
that on
back.
Clubhouse.
And you know what? Go
Only
ahead.
you
'Cause
have
I'm
said
done
that on
defending
Clubhouse.
fucking dumb
Only
fucking
you have
ideas
said that on
and giving
Clubhouse.
people voices. I think you need to be silent.
The only
I'm hoping there's a
recording-
law that comes out there
The
and
only
jails you.
recording that we
Editing.
have against
Go
Jews
ahead.
are from Brad.
Bring whatever recording
The only
you want.
recording that
I'm
we
not
have against
for
Jews are
anything
from
that
Brad.
you said.
Yes, sir. Don't play that game with me. because we
Play
got you
whatever game
recording
you
doing
want
that.
to. I'm not
Don't
your
play that game with
tongue
me. I'm
tickler,
a
buddy.
master
Brad,
not the
Brad, do you
fucking
think it's
ordinary.
Brad, do you think it's
nightmare.
anti-Semitic to blame everything in the entire world on the Jews?
Yes.
I'm your worst nightmare, Brad.
Sounds like
Don't
Othello.
ever play with me.
Dude, you're
I'm your
not.
worst
A gay
fucking
black
nightmare.
man is not my worst
I'm your
nightmare.
worst
A
fucking
gay
nightmare.
black man that
All right, this
born
is getting
in
old.
China is
I'm
not
your
my
worst
worst
fucking
nightmare.
nightmare,
A gay
baby.
black
All
man
right.
who lives on his knees
Don't
and in his
ever play
mama's
with me.
basement
I'm
is
your
not
worst
my worst
fucking
nightmare.
nightmare,
Like
baby.
me.
Boy.
I'm not okay. All right.
Better
Like
ask around.
Othello, shut up. Holy shit.
That's a good boy.
So, yeah, I guess, we have the free speech conversation. What else is there?
Yeah, how we're afraid of gay black men.
So, I mean, I do think it's funny, people kind of trying to recycle old content on this, on this app. We all know who the king of the white identitarian clubhouse was, and that was me, obviously.
Was, I think you still are, man.
Yeah.
Wait, has JB came in?
Is it okay to be proud to be white? Gay? I mean,
you might have to step up your game, though, Pepe. Just because you know it's about to set off, so you're gonna have to step up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fine. Fuck it. I don't know. I mean, if other people see themselves as a community, this is how I look at it. Actually, let me change something real quick.
Ooh, Abby's here. Bring Abby up.
Amazing. Well, I'm just curious.
Oh, she's in a press conference.
No, I think maybe she's saying that there is a press conference.
Just started. Yeah.
For what?
They're announcing the charges. It's in Utah. It's a district attorney from the county now speaking. I don't know how to stream. You guys know how to do that. You might want to stream it.
Let me see if I can find it live.
Try Fox.
Haven't they already said what they're going to charge him with, or no?
Yeah, that's what they're saying now.
Aggravated murder or something?
Well, they're going to announce it.
Oh, while we're waiting on that, Abby, have you ever heard anything that Othello said that can be considered anti-Semitic?
Like every second sentence. The Jew hatred should be his middle name. All right, guys, I'm going back to the press conference.
You just got drunk by Abby. Oh, sweet.
Let me see if I can stream the press conference. Oh, here it is. I'll stream it.
Is that PP?
It's PP.
What press conference is that?
The one. The one about they're going to announce the charges.
County DA. It's state charges right now. It's the county DA.
The state charges on the guy that
As county attorney, I am charged with bringing justice to those who offend our laws. I am charged with bringing justice for those who are harmed. I am charged with bringing justice for Charlie Kirk. I am committed to these aims. I take this responsibility seriously. Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating texts. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail. Turning to the 10-page information, these are the allegations. On September 10th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 p.m., Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a large crowd on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action .30-06 rifle, nearby. Over the next approximately 33 hours, police conducted a manhunt for the shooter until the evening of September 11th, 2025, when Tyler James Robinson surrendered to police at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. DNA consistent with Robinson was found on the rifle's trigger. After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages and not talk to police. Children were present at the time of the shooting. The shooting. Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at UVU. The event was the first in a series of similar events to be held at college campuses nationwide. Mr. Kirk is a well-known conservative activist, famous for these type of events where he discusses various political issues and debates with audience members. His events and comments have garnered a significant number of supporters and drawn the ire of many who disagree with his political views. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with a crowd before the event officially got underway. Then, at approximately noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd and fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used at his events. Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on his right and left, as well as some behind his canopy and others at various close locations near him. The large crowd surrounded Mr. Kirk on three sides. Temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a matter of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, an indoor walkway spanning several hundred feet with floor-to-ceiling glass windows which overlooked the plaza where Mr. Kirk was seated. People were in the walkway at the time of the shooting. Approximately 15 minutes into the event, Mr. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings by transgender individuals when a gunshot rang out. The bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet's trajectory passed closely to several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, including the questioner who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared deceased. The medical examiner's report is still pending. So UVU surveillance. So at the moment of the shot, a UVU police officer was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats. Believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound, he looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof only slightly below. The UV officer climbed over the railing and down onto the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop, consistent with a sniper laying on the roof, impressions in the gravel potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of a person in a prone shooting position. Police reviewed surveillance from the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the roof at approximately 12:15 p.m. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then low crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. This discovery led to an intensive review of UVU surveillance recordings to attempt to track and identify the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following. At approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered campus from the north. He is seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in the center, a dark baseball cap, and large sunglasses. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railway off the open walkway and onto the roof, where he leaves the camera's view. A camera later captures the suspect as he runs across the roof to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the roof. He appears to drop the item he was carrying as he hits the ground in a control. He then picks up the item and runs toward the northeast end of campus. Expanded crime scene investigation. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path northeast end of campus, where they believe the suspect left camp and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. The rifle contained one spent round and 3 unspent rounds. This is consistent with the facts officers observed at the time of and immediately after the shootings. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt action rather than an auto-loading weapon, and only a single round was fired. Each round in the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows: The fired cartridge was etched, "No Tyson Bulge, OWO, what's this?" The second cartridge that was again not spent, the last three were not spent, were not fired. The second, "Hey Fascist," catch with arrow symbols. The third cartridge, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." The fourth cartridge, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." The rifle, ammunition rounds, and towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with defendant was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. Launch was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos that are from the UVU surveillance cameras and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try to identify the shooter through other means. The Washington County investigation. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went to the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. Robinson's mother stated that the following to police. On September 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was at home sick and that he had also been at homesick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspect shooter looked like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak with a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." Roommate, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson,